All right, team. So we had Apple earnings yesterday. Market is still looking pretty solid. I mean, Apple's down a little bit, but people are acting like the market's just crashing. Market is still holding all of its gains basically from yesterday and the day before. You can see the SPY sitting right over 430 right now. So it doesn't look like the small dip in Apple is necessarily affecting the market drastically or anything like that. Market looks pretty healthy still, pretty good. Again, we'll see if this bullish action continues. Who knows if it will. Oh, man. Some Sandy. All right, let's do a poll. Poll's going to say, will today's job report help or hurt the market? Help, hurt. This guy said I bought $177.50 put options that expire tomorrow right before close. What should I expect? Do I sell as soon as open due to the IV crush? So yeah, he said I bought $177.50 put options that expire tomorrow night. This was yesterday, right before close. That expired tomorrow right before close. What should I expect? Do I sell as soon as open? So he's up already on that 177 put option. He said, do I sell as soon as open due to IV crush? I said, to be honest, it's your decision based on your risk tolerance. I can't answer that. And I think that's probably the right answer. Yeah, Coca-Cola still having a really good day. I'm in Coca-Cola at 55s. Probably going to take another half off and then sit on 50 shares. Gotta wait 30 minutes though. Microsoft, obviously one of the better stocks in my portfolio. Amex too. Amex, man, just one of the best movers yesterday that helped me. Flying up. Joe, what do you think that Apple drop was uncalled for? I mean, I think Apple's up. If we look at Apple, it's been moving up for 3 days in a row. I think the thing people have to understand is that 3 or 4 days ago, Apple was basically right where we were now. Like you can see that here at the opening bell. We're basically where we are now a couple days ago. And so in anticipation of earnings, Apple moved up and then corrected once the earnings actually came out, which is a very normal standard thing. So that means that the people who like and dislike this pullback are probably overreacting because we're basically where we were a couple days ago on Apple. It's not really a huge shock. Again, on the first, the day before yesterday, we were right where we are. So like Apple's still fine relative to that. But that's the sentiment you have to understand is that traders are probably they already got front loaded into the potential decision from Apple, and then Apple earnings came out, and then that stabilized a little bit. So fairs. Remember the days Apple used to go crazy after earnings? Whatever happened to those days? Well, I think the market's balanced right now. All right. If the market cap is so large, shouldn't Apple move so much, so volatile? Just a question. Not necessarily. Again, I think if Apple hadn't moved so much prior to the earnings release, they might have moved more after the earnings, but they moved a lot. Again, if we put up a 10-day chart, Apple moved a lot from 165s all the way to 180, over 180s to a certain point. So I mean, they already had a really big move over $10 a share, which means it was over 5%. Over the last few days. So Apple moved up over 5% in the last few days, and that move probably made this move a little bit less reactive because it was already up so much already leading into it. Yeah, we're gonna get a timer going on. We got 2 hours. We got a little bit less than 2 hours. We got an hour. 6 minutes. So, John, good morning. Hope things are well for you and your family. Hey, thanks, Shelton. Yeah, we're doing all right. Roku had good earnings. That's one I was wrong about. I mean, I wasn't wrong. I don't bet that they're gonna have bad earnings. I just don't trust Roku long term. But my son woke us up early this morning. But yeah, they're up a lot. They're up over, they're up like over 100% since the lows in January. Since the beginning of the year, Roku's up over 100%. So definitely wrong about that one. All right, let's put this up. Non-farm payrolls and unemployment data. Rob. .30 Eastern time. Payrolls are expected to show. Let me see what payrolls are expected at. Yes, payroll is expected to show 180,000. Unemployment expected to show 3.8%. Oh. Again, 3.8% is what Dude, my keyboard's acting weird, man. I don't know if my batteries are running out or what, but. All right, so put that up. Maybe we'll do this. I don't know. I kind of liked my screen yesterday, where we had 3 charts, but I need to keep drinking my coffee. Hey, what's up, Tyler? I kept buying the dip, and when the market really dipped a few days ago, I did not have any funds available. Big L. And what, Apple or the market? High unemployment means bad news for the economy equals market goes down. Wrong, I think. You're wrong. I mean, I understand why people might think that, because that's kind of like conventionally true. but we're not in convention right now. And especially with what Powell said during the FOMC meeting earlier in the week, I think it'll probably be the opposite of that. I think low unemployment will signal a stronger jobs market. And the Fed said in order for inflation to hit the target they need at 2%, the labor market needs to settle. So low unemployment is going to cause those problems and fears to be higher because it's going to signal a stronger labor market. Same thing we get with jobless claims earlier in the week, where jobless claims came out higher than expected, signaling more people filing for unemployment, and the market going up from that on Thursday, yesterday. And so the market does not want a strong labor market. Same thing with payroll numbers. Payroll numbers coming in really high will probably be worse, and payroll numbers coming in really low will probably be better. So that's the nuance I see right now, at least. And again, you never really know. We can only guess, but that's the nuance I see right now. I'm not saying it's good news, James. I'm saying that the Fed's purpose of raising rates is to discourage the labor market and spending. So with unemployment higher and payroll numbers lower, that's going to signal the labor market settling down, which is a good thing to Powell. At least that's what Powell and the Fed wants, because their job is to decrease inflation. In order to decrease inflation, you have to stop people from spending in all ways, and that includes making a bunch of money at work and spending, right? And I'm not saying I want less people working. I'm saying the market wants less people working right now. I don't know. I'm holding ARM. Haven't really been paying much attention to it, but I'm holding it. It's been sitting pretty much the same spot, though, for days. Yeah, it's been basically in the same spot since the beginning of October. So we're watching it. Doesn't it have earnings next week? Okay, so yeah, ARM has earnings November 8th. So we'll cover that. I'm in ARM. All right, guys. Sammy the Bull. The problem with Sammy the Bull is this, right? He's like this old mob member, dude. The problem with him is this, all right? And I can't really judge, but like in the Gotti case, he ratted out Gotti. He's the one that's put Gotti in jail for the rest of his life, was Sammy the Bull. And I can't really get mad at him because they were listening to like wiretaps, and he heard Gotti basically talking smack about him, right? And if you're the underboss and you're getting smack talked by the main boss, by the head boss, it's probably not a good sign, And so he turned witness real quick. But now, he's almost 80, but he's out there criticizing rats. It's like, bro, you were the biggest snitch. You know what I mean? And I'm not into all that stuff. I watched the John Gotti documentary, but it's like, Anyways. Bakaska. Let's see. All right, guys. Hey, we've been busy this week, man. UFC fight this weekend. It's not really a great one. We got Derek Lewis versus Jalton Almeida. That'll be a good fight. Nicholas Dalby versus Gabriel Bonfim. I guess the fight card's okay. What's the prelims like? Good morning, John and all. Pretty nice run up yesterday. My opinion, market's still going up to previous before August, holding before. Yeah, I mean, market looks good, man. I can't even say it doesn't. Y'all hit the like button, hit the notification bell. We got a lot of votes on the poll already. 69 votes. 52% think that today's job report is going to help the market. 48% think it's going to hurt the market. Coinbase is dropping from earnings yesterday, but they're not really down that much, to be honest. Coinbase was at $70 a share back on the 27th of October. It's over 80 now still. So a lot of these are just up a lot over the last week. And so they're kind of, how do you cope when you sell positions that end up ripping up to the upside like tens of thousands of dollars worth? You just kind of get over it, man. There's always another play. There's always another move. Learn from it and move on, Again, I'm not telling you what to do. I certainly have no idea what anything's going to do. I don't want you to copy me or do anything like that. I'm definitely not liable if you lose money, Raphael. But what I will say is that you probably want to work on being less emotional about stocks. Like for instance, Disney, right? Like Disney is one that I always talk about, right? We're actually up on our latest Disney play. Disney back up to $84 a share, right? But Disney moves back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, up and down, up and down. And so if you're not resilient to that, you're going to be emotionally swinging up and down, up and down, up and down. And I see you do that too sometimes, Raphael, where like Disney drops like 0.5% and you're like, oh, it's the worst thing in the world, And so I think for you, if you're trying to swing trade, man, at least you got to just kind of condition yourself to be resilient to that, And good luck. I hope you make money, brother. All right, team. I had 500 shares of Disney, almost all my money. Well, you're trading too large as well, though, dude. Most likely, at least, you're trading too large. Again, you don't need to trade crazy size, bro. You just don't need that, man. You don't need that in trading. That's the biggest mistake most people make, is that they just trade way too large relative to their account size. And so every trade they're in is just causing big swings up and big swings down. They're super emotional about everything because their sizing is way too extended. Um, it's way too high, And so the best thing you could learn to do is just scale down your size until you're comfortable with it. Like, you want to take a size where you still want to win, but you're not going to be super emotionally attached to that win. Like, if you look at my positions in my swing trades, like, dude, like, I'll read the shares. I'm not going to tell you how many shares of each one I have, and these are all blue chips, but 10 shares of one stock, 31 shares of another stock, 5 shares of another stock, 18 shares of another stock, 15 shares of another one, 25 shares of another one, 20 shares of another one, 5 shares of another one, 25 shares, 10 shares, 35 shares, 10 shares, 24 shares, 75 shares, 25 shares, 2 shares, 5 shares, 10 shares, 15 shares, 60 shares. So you'll see, like, I have no positions over 75 shares. Like, 75 shares out of like a bunch of stocks is my largest position, and that is in Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, which I'm actually going to take 25 shares off at the open because we're up really nicely on that trade in Coke. So, but my point is, you don't see any crazy 500 share positions in blue chips. Why? Because to buy 500 shares, just to give you the math here, to buy 500 shares of a $200 stock is $100,000, bro. I'm not and I have the buying power to do that if I wanted to, but that's dumb. Like, that's just going to cause me to be crazy emotional about one position. I would rather diversify. Diversification is one of the most powerful things that you're going to need on an everyday basis in finance in general, right? Is diversify everything. Diversify the stocks you buy, the share size you buy, the risk you take. Like, diversify into different things, and that way you're not too busy worrying about one specific thing, and you can just kind of use risk tolerance and risk management to cut the positions that you should and sit in the positions that you should and take profits on the positions that you should, right? That's going to be a lot less emotional, less stressful way to trade, and that's what a lot of people need to be doing, is just trading. A lot of people are trying to look cool on the internet. I don't care about that. I mean, I'm definitely top 3 coolest looking dudes ever, but still, when you trade, tell yourself you already lost the money. Yeah, trade with what you're okay with losing, or accept the loss as soon as you enter the trade. Market today being unknown, 500 shares of Disney is huge. Yeah, I'm not taking that. All right, guys. So, yeah, very good day, very green. And you can see, like, my portfolio right now overall is up really nice too. We made like 3% yesterday. Fubo earnings, are they this morning? We'll cover Fubo earnings. I don't think we have any big ones this morning, right? Yeah, we got Fubo, Cinemark, Icon Enterprises. That'll be fun. SIBO, Dominion Energy, AMC Networks. Not the real AMC, the other one. AMCX is the symbol. Yeah, I mean, Raphael, bro, again, that mentality of trying to get it rich on one big trade, in my personal subjective opinion, is a toxic mentality, sir. That's going to push you to just take crazy, massive risks. And again, you're just gambling, brother. You're just gambling, man. Diversify, trade small and diversify. That's the best advice anybody can give. Again, I'm not giving you advice. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything. But still. Yeah, dude, there's so many millionaire day trading videos, bro. All right, team. Disney looking good today, man. Again, we're in Disney as well. SQ still up a lot overnight. PayPal still looking pretty solid. Where's PayPal at right now, though? Yeah, PayPal right up at the top. I'll see if PayPal can keep ripping. We're in PayPal too. Again, non-farm payroll unemployment data drops today. John, block position should be up nicely. Yeah, we're up. We're not. We already took most of it off though, but yeah, we're up a little bit on the rest. Our average price is 45.30. One block it's at 51.34. So yeah, we're up. Definitely up. What do you think? Why the market don't react to? It did already. Oil went up. It just corrects. Yeah. It didn't go by fast for me, Keith, man. I've been streaming every freaking day. I mean, and it's great for the channel, bro. It really is. Like if you look at my channel, man, and you look at how much I post, yeah, it's been great for the channel. Like just in the last 2 days, look at my streams. Just in the last 2 days. This is all like the last 2 days of streaming. You know, yesterday with Apple, we got about 11,000 views. Jobless claims Thursday, we got a little bit over 4. FOMC meeting, we got over 20,000 views. Jolts, we got over 5. AMD earnings, we got about 7,000. This, we got about 2. And this is just 2 days. You can see stream 2 days ago. That's like less than half of the week. The full week is even more busy. And it's good. It's been fun. Next week's a much more quiet week. But the show must go on. We got to stream. Earnings season is here, so you know that's what it is. It's earnings season. I don't think we have any big earnings next week. I think next week's actually pretty quiet. I know we have ARM earnings. We got Berkshire Hathaway earnings, which is going to be pretty big in the morning. Just an influence over markets. Dish, Brookfield. What else we got? Hims, Clover Health. I didn't even know Clover Health was still around. Uber. Tuesday morning we got Uber, Datadog, a couple other ones in the morning. We got Rivian earnings on Tuesday evening. We might try to stream Rivian earnings. I've streamed them before and we've gotten okay results. We also have Lucid. Where's Rivian at right now? Rivian's one of the better EVs plays, right? Yeah, Rivian up to $17 a share. That might actually be worth streaming. We'll see. Occidental Petroleum upstart, all dropping Tuesday evening. Roblox Wednesday morning. Fisker Wednesday morning. Warner Bros. Wednesday morning. Under Armour. And then keep it going. We got AMC Disney Wednesday. I believe we have ARM as well. Yeah, so again, AMC earnings, Beyond Meat, Jivo. So Wednesday's going to be a streaming day for sure. Thursday, we got nothing really in the morning. In the evening on Thursday, we got Plug Power, Unity, Trade Desk, Win, Aurora Cannabis, ACB, Groupon, Soundhound. That's basically it. And then yeah, so again, we also have PMI today, don't we? We have services PMI today, no? I have to check, but I think we have services PMI. Yeah, next week's basically. Oh wait, so is the market closed on Friday the 10th? Okay, good. Bond market's closed. But the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ are going to be open. Yeah, next week's basically really boring. We don't have anything going on. Yeah, basically nothing. The week after that will be busy. We'll have like CPI. I don't mind having a slow week either. Yeah, payroll is expected 180K. That's Veterans Day. Yeah, for sure. That was the design of it. Snow. Is that like we're always gonna have economic stuff? That's why I pivoted away. Like, bro, we used to cover penny stocks, and like, if you want to know why I'm so biased against penny stocks, it's because I used to trade them. You know, I saw it happen. You know, I saw the sketchiness. I saw the nonsense. Again, we got the timer up. We still got an hour and a half before this report. Hour and a half. Penny stocks are fool's gold. They really are. Payroll's only expected. Yeah. Again, slap the like button, hit the sub button, guys. We appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I used to have fun with penny stocks, bro. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's something very exciting, but I think it plays. People that gamble end up doing it, right? And again, I can't really judge, but I think with penny stocks, what happens is getting up early and finding a hot runner in penny stocks is like an exciting thing. You're like, ooh, what's running right now in penny stocks? And it kind of gets your blood moving. And then trading them, because they're so volatile, makes your heart beat really fast, right? So it's like a gambler's heaven. It's like a gambler's paradise. You know, where's Coolio at? Gambler's paradise. And so everybody just gets all hyped up. Their blood starts running. They start trading these crap stocks, and they most of the time end up losing. But every now and then they'll have a big gain that'll justify them doing it. And you know, again, I understand the penny stock gurus' business too. And a lot of them don't like me because they think I'm attacking their business model. They got some legit ones out there. Like, I'm not hating on all of them. There's some good ones out there. But I don't trust penny stocks in general. And maybe that's my bias. And maybe it's because I suck at penny stocks, right? That's very possible. I think you got to just kind of look at it, though, objectively and understand that it's a sketchy market. Sir Eddie. Again, hit the like button, guys. Let's try to break 50 likes within the next 5 minutes if we can. The penny stock market is great to day trade, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I disagree, but it's subjective. I think for many things you have to look at where big money goes, right? What big money does, right? If you want to see where the edge is, you got to follow big money. Okay, one thing that big money very consistently does not trade is penny stocks. You know, one thing that you do not see on the books and Goldman Sachs and all these big hedge funds, you see them trade futures, you see them trade bonds, you see them trade blue chip stocks, you see them trade mid cap stocks to a certain extent as well, investing mostly, but you see them do it. One thing you rarely ever see them invest in is penny stocks, you know, trading them as well. And so there's a reason for that, you know. Yeah, they definitely trade indexes. You know, they definitely trade bonds. They definitely trade blue chips, mid caps to a certain extent, investing. But they don't play with penny stocks because penny stocks have a very little edge. And the only people that really want to do them are people who don't have that much money. And so, again, it's confirmation bias, right? Like, if you got a tiny account and you want to trade, your bias is going to be say, hey, I'm going to trade penny stocks because you think they're all you can afford. right? So of course you're going to think that, they have a bigger edge. Might not necessarily be true though, but and again, maybe to be fair, I'm trying to be fair here. Maybe there's some traders that can make it work and that can day trade them reliably and earn consistent income from them. I don't know. I've never met one, but maybe, maybe there are traders that do that. I can't judge. Yeah, Fubo earnings coming out today. Fubo drops at what, 8 a.m.? I have Fubo too, ironically enough. I don't like the stock. I have Fubo. I don't like the stock. The stock's very volatile, mid-cap territory. If you look at a weekly chart, this thing has been crazy volatile. It was at 60 something in 2021. It's now at $2.74. And so I use them as a company. I don't actually like the stock though. Hey, John, I'm halfway through my evaluation account. What is some advice you would give me? I'm going to preface this with I don't give financial advice, not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. I might have no idea what I'm talking about and be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Do not copy me, not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose regarding anything I'm about to say. Okay. Now, with all that said and out the way, if you're halfway through the account, number one, it depends on, I'm assuming you mean profit-wise, right? I would say build up a cushion. Once you have a cushion, take larger risks and try to get the second half done, right? So if it was me, I would probably try to build up like $500 in profit on one day, like $300, $400, $500. Once you got that big cushion of $300 to $500, then you take some large swings trying to just get funded quickly. But that's me, and I'm okay with resetting a couple times if I need to. I've got a balance of $300. What's the best trading strategy you think would work for me? I've tried many. I mean, you might not like my answer to this, but I don't think you can really trade with $300, bro. Not reliably and easily. Depends on if you're okay with losing that money. If you're okay with losing that money, bro, find one of those big moving stocks that are like $50 a share that move like really, really fast and try to catch momentum based on if you're okay with losing it. But again, there's a big chance you're going to lose the money doing that as well. My advice to you, if you only have $300 to trade, brother, and again, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm being honest. I hope you understand. I'm trying to tell you the truth, is to find out another means of income that can help supply you with more money if you really want to trade, because $300 is nothing. You're not going to be able to do anything. You buy an option contract with that. But again, you're going to be super worried about it because it's going to be all your money. Yeah, I would try to save more money. You're not going to get much with $300. I have more to put in. I just don't have strategy. Well, what are you trying to do? Day trade, swing trade, trade options? Yeah, I mean, again, my strategy, and again, I'm going to preface this with do not copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Don't sue me. What I would probably do is, a lot of the time companies can have these big fall short term, right? So like a big stock, like a big blue chip stock can have like a mighty fall short term where they drop big percentages emotionally, like an emotional overreaction in the stock where they drop big percentages, right? Like Amazon earnings a couple quarters ago dropped like 20% on their earnings report, like 20%, and I thought it was an overreaction. I looked at their earnings and I was like, hey, these aren't that bad. And so I ended up buying the dip and I made like 10% on the trade within a couple days, I think, and so doing that, I think that's something that you can do if you're trying to buy options is look for, but again, at the same time, the problem with buying options specifically instead of shares might be better because if you try to buy options using that strategy, the IV is going to be crazy high. The volatility of the stock is going to be crazy high. And so you're going to have to pay a premium for those options. It's probably just not worth it. So yeah, I'm not sure. Chat, what do you guys think you should do with this $300? Yeah, you can. If you're in high school, bro, ask your parents, dude. I don't know what you should do, dude. Ask your parents, bro. Good luck. I'm not giving advice to you, sir. Bro, what a scammy ad this is. Look at this ad, bro. They know I like watches. Look at this ad. This ad can't possibly be real. This ad can't possibly be real. Like, do y'all know how much the Pepsi Rolex really costs? Like, bro, a Pepsi Rolex for $330. Yeah, this is a $13,000 watch. You know, and so I don't know if they're slanging fakes over here, but again, SPY's pretty neutral, honestly, pretty flat. Buy a nice dinner. It's fake Rolex, yeah, for sure. All right, team. We still got an hour and 20 minutes. Rolex prices dropped. Would 2000 be a nice place to start? I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, I really don't know, man. Again, if you're in high school, brother, ask your parents, dude. Again, I don't want to give advice to young people. I wish you well, man. I hope you do well, you know. All right, so PayPal started to dip down a little bit here. You still got some shares of it. Swing SPY options, maybe. All right, team SPY at 430s here, 430s. Apple still trying. We can look at Tesla too. Let's see if we get something good. I'm just having trouble finding a good strat. I have a fake submarina, but all people think it's good real. Or I think it's real. Yeah, I like watches, but I'm not about to. The only way I'd really start buying super expensive watches is if I yeah, the only way I'd really start buying super expensive watches is if I was gonna resell them for higher. Yeah. But there's so many fakes, and I don't know how to spot fakes. Tesla shaping up to push. Yeah, I mean, Tesla's neutral over the last few days, though. I'm surprised. They could have ripped up with the rest of the tech market yesterday. It's up some, though. I mean, it's up to 216, just bouncing back a little bit. We're holding Tesla, too. We got some shares here. Fakes are getting really good. Yeah, there's like super fakes now. All right, so JP Morgan yesterday talked Fed, bonds, and the U.S. economy. What will rattle markets? I get this bus driver doing a bunch of like spinning kicks and all this stuff. I don't know. I was trying to tell my daughter like Taekwondo is useful, but like it's not as useful as boxing or Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu. You know, like it's useful, but like it's gonna be a lot harder to land that fancy stuff in a real fight. You know, you gotta have space. All right, team. What else we got today, guys? I guess again we got some earnings. We got Fubo at 8 a.m. Cinemark should have already dropped their numbers here. Cinemark out, 61-cent profit per share, 874 million. So Cinemark, which is CNK, I wonder if I have any AMC influence here. Cinemark at again 17s right now. Again, the biggest day, the next biggest day is next Wednesday. AMC, Disney, Twilio, Marathon, Affirm. Again, slap the like button, guys. We got 49 likes. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Keto is complete nonsense, Daniel. I'm sorry. I'm glad Tesla gained some ground a bit back, put me back over 6 figures. Hey, nice, brother. But yeah, no. With that said, Aikido is the most nonsense martial art in the world. Like everybody likes Steven Seagal. Everybody used to like Steven Seagal, so they look at Aikido. Aikido is complete nonsense. You know, they've set up a lot of like fighters versus Aikido, and the fighters always win. Right. The problem with Aikido is that it's complete utter nonsense. It's a dancing martial art, and if you ask anybody in Aikido, they'll be like, "Oh, well, you know, you're not allowed to use real Aikido in these sparring sessions." It's like, okay, well, what's real Aikido? Poking somebody in the eye? Is that Aikido or is that just poking somebody in the eye? You know what I mean? Like, again, Aikido is complete nonsense. I call it the pyramid scheme of martial arts. People have spent so much time learning it that they desperately want to justify it. Not you, Daniel. I don't think you have. But again, Aikido is a complete waste of time. Never do it. It's terrible. Steven Seagal is the most unathletic person in the world, and he's trying to act like a big bad dude because of Aikido. Yeah, he was Yelton. And he take on Intel. Where's Intel at right now? Intel at 37s, 38s. I mean, microchip fever might get this thing to move. When is MU earnings? Micron earnings? Judo's good. And I know judo works because training every day I get thrown on my butt in judo. MU already dropped their numbers. And so judo certainly works. It's less effective if there's no gi, but it still sucks to get judo thrown on your back, and it happens quick, you know. Hey, what's up, Rich? Hey, thanks so much, man. Palantir strong. Yeah, Palantir had earnings. Yeah, I would say Peggy. Those are all the legit ones for sure. I would even throw like Taekwondo can be useful. It's just it requires a lot of space, and sometimes in a fight you don't get that space. Sambo is basically just jiu-jitsu, judo, and wrestling combined. So I wouldn't really say Sambo is like a martial art. It's just it's a bundle of martial arts together. December 19th. Yeah. All right, AMC drops earnings next Wednesday. So again, we'll see if they post anything good. Yeah, Taekwondo. I mean, like I said, I would say it's somewhat useful. We are overchipped now, and companies like Intel have a hard time to catch up with ARM chips. Yeah, ARM. I'm holding ARM. ARM. I'm trying to see though earnings for ARM when they come out. They say it's on the 8th, but I don't see it confirmed yet. So yeah, we got some stuff today. We got to wait for 8 a.m. Before We gotta wait for 8 a.m. before Fubo, which is probably the biggest one today, outside of like Sibo. Sibo releases here in about 12 minutes. Dominion Energy in about 12 minutes. That's basically all the other big ones. Again, PayPal's interesting to watch today. Apple is kind of the big one that, Apple released earnings yesterday, and their earnings were mixed, but the earnings call tanked them. Like, the Apple mostly dropped from the earnings call, not the actual earnings. It dipped a little bit from earnings, but it wasn't terrible. The earnings call is really what dropped Apple. All right, so Apple CEO Tim Cook said they achieved all-time record revenue in India, while the CFO says services hit fresh all-time record with growth. Services hit fresh all-time record with growth acceleration quarter over quarter, but noted that they have very tough compares on Mac and iPad this quarter. So yeah, Apple posted 146 EPS versus 139 estimates. We'll put this up in the chat if you guys want to see what it is. Yeah, Kung Fu's nonsense too, Yeltsin, for the most part. I mean, I'm not saying it's not useful, but it's not useful. Again, SPY at 430s. Again, look at Apple pop back up, though. Apple's still testing 173. You can see the SPY kind of move up with it. Very low liquid morning today on Friday for this job report so far. Very low liquidity morning for everything. Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on all 7 counts. Wow. That's crazy. 7 out of 7. We'll see what he does. Seven out of 7. Good, man. Honestly, he deserves it. I think what happened, man, is that, like, my guess of what happened with Sam is that, Sam looks like the type of dude, and again, I'm pure speculating here about Sam's upbringing in his life, right? But Sam looks like the type of dude that struggled socially, right? Maybe he got bullied, maybe he got made fun of, and I think when you behave, when that happens, you want to prove people wrong, right? Like, you desperately want to prove people wrong, and so when FTX took off and crypto took off, and he was on the forefront of that, it gave him that validation that he always wanted, right? And everything was business as usual. And he probably craved that validation, like craved that acceptance, is I'm sure what he did, right? Which that acceptance craving aspect of it drove him to take more risks than he really should have in crypto and on the FTX platform, specifically, again, using people's funds, not doing things by the book, going against what was technically legal, and because he was so desperate to continue to receive that validation and prove everybody wrong, right? And when you let that snowball larger and larger and larger and larger, eventually it turns into the massive fraud that happened with FTX, as well as like the crypto crash that started to happen from Terra Luna and a lot of other things, probably put Sam, who might have been gambling a little bit as well. We don't know if he was like addicted to gambling. Sometimes people with, people like Sam can have very bad impulse control, right? And so he might have been gambling with people's money as well. And then when the crash happened, a few years ago, he found himself in a very vulnerable position and used customer funds to try to get himself out of that position, but it ended up just kind of spiraling and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. There's a very famous movie. It's called Rogue Trader, right? I can't remember what bank the dude at Rogue Trader worked for, but it was one of the big boy banks in the 90s, right? And this trader basically worked at the trade desk. He was like one of the trade managers, I think, for one of these big banks, I think overseas in the UK. And he was one of their traders, right? And this was back before there was like databases that are cross-checked and everything like that. And so what happened was that he lost a bunch of money, and he was so desperate not to lose his job that he kept trying to gamble more and more to make the money back. But the more he would try to gamble to make the money back, the worse he would get beat. You know, he would take larger size with the bank's funds, he would get beat more. Take larger size with the bank funds, lose again, right? And when that snowballs, and that happens to our trading accounts as well, if you're not careful. Like if you can do the exact same thing that these guys did in your trading account if you're not careful and you're not using good risk management. And so eventually when that starts happening, again, it snowballs. The domino effect of it just makes it, you know, much bigger problem. And yeah, again, good trading movie. It's called Rogue Trader. Same thing I think Sam Bankman-Fried did, to be honest, where he started using people's money to get himself out of a hole, and that hole just grew larger and larger and larger as time went on. That kind of money turns anybody into a monster. We got the fake Sam Bankman in chat. We got this fake Sam Bankman-Fried in the chat. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. The market's not really down enough to... Cannabis beverages on shelf in Minnesota. So Sam Bankman-Fried's facing over 100 years in jail. He's guilty on 7 charges. Maximum sentence is 115 years. Sentencing is March 28th of next year. Medium security prison. Second trial in March 11th for 5 more charges. Second trial sentencing may also be done on March 28th. All right, so again, Apple bouncing up. Same in 2024. Do you think Dominion Energy will do better? I'm not sure. So what's to stop others that had startups in crypto from doing what Sam did? What's to stop them? Sam being found guilty and getting sentenced to a long time in prison. That's going to be a big discouragement. Okay, fake Sam Bankman-Fried, get out of here, bro. Like, dude, listen, I watch too much Catfish for you to like try to pretend to be real, dude. Nobody actually believes you. You're just some dude that created a fake account, bro. Non-farm payrolls, yeah. Hey, NFP today, non-farm payroll data. You can see they're expecting at 180,000, 180K. Can you tell my daughter Camilla to wake up? Camilla, wake up right now. You got to go to school. Catfish. Yeah, we watch too much Catfish over on my end. Morning Boss, what's my bottom target, to be clear? I don't know, bro. The market's not really down that much, though. Like, I see a lot of bearish traders trying to act like the market's somehow crashing from Apple earnings. You know, they're like, see, I told you the market would fall. And it's like, bro, the market's up so much. You know, SPY over 430 right now. It's over the 200 EMA. Look at the SPY on the day. It held basically all these gains. The Apple earnings really didn't influence the SPY at all in extended hours. Now, maybe we'll see a correction of that after the open, but still. I think payroll numbers need to come in light. Yeah, I think payroll numbers need to come in light. Also, y'all, hit the vote. Again, payroll numbers dropping soon. Tomorrow, XAI is going to release its first AI to a select group and some important respects it is best that currently exists. All right, guys. Again, we're going to do a poll on Twitter. It's today's job report with non-farm payrolls and unemployment. Today's job report with non-farm payrolls and unemployment is huge. Does the market want a hotter or colder labor market? Hot, cold. Be the poll right now. Okay, we got this poll live on you know what, if you want to follow us there. All right, so we basically got somebody, like some big troll, just creating fake accounts today, trying to, like, I don't know what. SMCI. Super Micro. Yeah, they reported earnings dipped down a lot. Yeah, so they reported earnings dipped down a lot. They're at 243s right now. Maybe influence microchips. NVIDIA has been another one that's up a lot. It's at 435s. Goldilocks, not too hot, not too cold. I guess today's jobs will be ignored as we are in an uptrend already. Not necessarily. I think if today's unemployment comes in really, really high, the market will probably go up. I think if unemployment comes in really, really low, the market's going to go down. I think if payroll numbers come in really, really high, the market's going to go down. I think if payroll numbers come in really, really low, the market's going to go up. I think the market wants a colder job market right now. I think job market has been very hot lately, and the Fed, on Wednesday said that in order to hit the 2% target over time, that they're going to need to cool down the job market, right? And so conventionally, obviously, unemployment being low is good, but right now, I don't think the market necessarily wants that. I think the market is fearing that, It can't go up every day, just FYI. Yeah, maybe. 4,100 is possible. I don't think we hit it today, but it's certainly possible. I mean, it's not really super outside our realm. I mean, $4,100 is the low of the last since May. So that's the 6-month low. I don't know. Is Microsoft too high? I don't know. It's approaching highs. I'm in Microsoft. All right, guys, we got less than an hour. Yeah, hit the like button, hit the notification. We appreciate it. Did people really used to spell catsup, catsup, CATSUP? Who knew? Yeah, so Sam facing up to 115 years. Wow. Yeah, so Musk putting out some new AI system. Remote workers save an average of $6,000 a year working from home, according to USA Today. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to drive to work. I mean, that makes sense. Look at Apple, though, guys. Apple back up to 173s here. Looking pretty solid. It's turning my portfolio green still. The only two stubborn stocks that I'm still in right now are Honeywell. I'm still slightly red on Honeywell. We got like 25 shares. And Etsy. Etsy was probably not the best bet, but again, my portfolio is green right now. We're up like 600 or so total on my current portfolio. So that's nice, but you gotta just be patient, I think. All right, so what does Neo report earnings, guys? When is Neo coming out with earnings? Neo's a big EV play. They're dropping later this month. Oh, the other one later this month, guys, that's crazy big is Nvidia. Nvidia drops in 2 weeks, in like 2.5 weeks, really, for Nvidia. So that's the crazy big one that's going to be important. SPY moving back up over the 200 EMA, over the VWAP, getting close to break even on the day so far. Yeah, 77 likes, guys. Listen, we can do better. We need 23 likes to hit the 100 like goal. Do it now. I'm red and Etsy, but holding is holiday season will bring GDP to plus 6%. Etsy will rally. Yeah, I'll probably hold it. It's a small trade. I'm not super concerned about it. It's the stock I'm down the most on right now, which is I'm only down $108. So like that's my biggest L right now is $108. You know, Microsoft, I'm currently up on the second half of my position. So like we were holding much more than this. We're up about 200. We are up nicely in Tesla, and I'm just going to keep holding Tesla because the Cybertruck debut on November 30th is probably going to be pretty solid for it, I think. Maybe not, but that's the plan right now. Apple, you know, we made a bunch on Apple, but scaled out of it, and so we're just kind of sitting in on that. We're watching Apple bounce back, though, but we're still green on Apple overall, just to put it into perspective. Our average price on Apple right now is $166. Apple's still at 177, so we're still well over our entry or our average price on Apple. I'm gonna become a travel agent and have my office set up inside a Blockbuster, talking on a BlackBerry. Yeah, for sure, man. You know, you can get an 8-track player in that thing too, bro. Just be really styling in there, man. You know, you can open up a GameStop. You know, start selling physical copies of new video games. The biggest shipping company in the world, drop it 20%. What shipping company, Solman? You can't say the biggest company, but not say the name of the company. Neo is laying off people. Is on Bloomberg. Where's Neo at, man? Neo is just so volatile. It's at $8 a share right now. It's at almost 8. Neo's been moving up, though. Again, the problem with Neo is that it was at $16 earlier this year, as well as $70 basically in 2021. What's the symbol? What's the symbol? All right, guys. Hey, we got about an hour left still. All right, so again, Ron Barron thinks Tesla can hit a $4 trillion market cap. He said, quote, "You get rich by being long-term and by being focused, by owning a small amount of companies." Boom. Not saying I told you guys, but that's the truth. Elon said we do need to knock the ball out the park several times to achieve that value, but I think we can. All right, so again, SPY head up. Will the SPY go break even today on these job numbers? Again, a lot of the time the market's quiet ahead of this, but Bankman-Fried maintains his innocence and will continue to vigorously fight the charges. What innocence, bro? Like, dude, like you're a national criminal. Everybody knows, dude. Like, everybody knows. Where's J. Cole at? He knows, you know? All right, so Gene Boyvin, the head of BLK Investment Institute, we think 5.5% long-term 10-year yields in the U.S. is the level that seems consistent with the macro backdrop in the next 5 years. It's also consistent with the compensation for risk that bond investors should require to invest in long-term bonds. 5.5% long-term 10-year. Sign me up, bro. I mean, I'm not going to put all my money into 5.5% bonds, but 10 years, that seems like a pretty good deal, risk-wise, if you include compounding. Apple said the word AI 9 times on its call. All right, so again, Apple still charted up at 174s. Yeah, Rivians are cool, man. We've got some truck, like a truck that lives by us that we see. One of our people who in our neighborhood has one. Bitcoin going up, is it really? You get Bitcoin at under 35K still. Bitcoin at 34.5K. All right, guys, again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate the love. Get ready for non-farm payrolls. Unemployment data dropping at 8:30 today, guys. 8:30. We're gonna put Tesla stock up. Apple rising here. Here's Tesla. Again, Tesla's starting to come back too, almost back up to over the volume weighted average price previous close. Listen, we need 8 little baby likes to hit 100, guys. Do it now. So if the rate is high, Bitcoin will drop, and if rate is low, it will rocket. Not that easy. Yeah, Fubo. I mean, Fubo's not really gonna move markets like that. Fubo numbers did just drop though. They posted. Yeah, so Fubo, hey, there's 100 likes. There you go. Fubo posted third quarter revenue of $311 million. I don't see EPS though. They did drop guidance. They raised their fiscal year 23 view to revenue of 1.319 billion to 1.324 billion. Quarter three revenue up 43%. Beat FactSet consensus. Quarter three sales 311. Again, they raised their fiscal year revenue guidance from 1.26 to 1.28 to 1.319 billion versus 1.3 billion. So slightly better than expected. Raises paid sub guidance as well. So Fubo is up. We'll put these numbers in chat. Can you let me know about non-farm payroll update? Yeah, I mean, we're going to cover it as soon as it drops. We always do. All right, so the UAW president, Sean Fain, is confident he can take on Tesla and Elon. He said, quote, "We can beat anybody," Fain said. "It's going to come down to the people that work for him deciding if they want their fair share, if they want him to fly himself to outer space at their expense." He said, "I believe it's doable." The UAW has before tried to organize the electric car leader and others. Yeah, of course, Elon. Any big business is going to be anti-union because unions can be good, but they can also be toxic. And so if I'm CEO, I definitely don't want my workers unionizing. What do you think of that team? So the U.S. attorney said Sam perpetuated one of the biggest financial crimes in U.S. history. Yeah, he's going to be a dude he's going to be like Ponzi. Or what was the dude in the 80s that took everybody's money? Bernie Madoff is who I'm thinking of. Yeah, Tesla at 217.50s. Fubo quarter three NA subs hit all-time high of 1.447 or 1.477 million, up 17%. Yeah, they're definitely gonna make a movie about him. Yeah, we'll be streaming the data here for sure. Again, hit that subscribe button, team. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Gonna keep the growth up. All right, so again, here's Fubo numbers that I'm seeing right now in chat. So you can look at Fubo. Fubo actually popping up a good bit. Like here's Fubo on the right, or on the left. I mean, Fubo bouncing up. You can see their numbers. They beat EPS, beat revenue. Again, PayPal up to 55.30s, 55.30s for PayPal. Yeah, so Paul Tudor Jones said markets trend only about 15% of the time. The rest of the time they move sideways, which is very true, right? The money's not made in trading, it's made in waiting, they say. Yeah, people are mad. They said Sam Bankman-Fried tricked them by playing League of Legends during his pitch. Yeah, so Sam Bankman-Fried apparently was playing League of Legends during his pitch of FTX to get funding. All right, team. We don't have that much longer until the data comes out. Elon Musk taking shots at NFTs, saying, quote, "It's just a URL to the JPEG." Yeah, I've never been like a big NFT dude. I own some NBA Top Shot NFTs that I'm pretty sure have not appreciated. It's been a while since I even looked them up. Let me check this out. I'm pretty sure none of them have appreciated at all, even if they're old. Let me check. It's been a minute. All right, guys. Again, Fubo up there. SPY trying to make moves. We still could look at Apple here on the left. Again, Apple starting to rebound back up. Basically filled half the gap from pre-market and extended hours yesterday. Bro, y'all did not send me a code. Bro. Dapper. See how long I checked this. I'm gonna have to go back and get another code sent. Problem is that my phone auto gets rid of spam calls, but I don't want it to. All right, guys. So yeah, Apple earnings came in pretty decent, but it didn't react positively. They must have saw some nuance in it they didn't like. And again, let me know if you guys think Apple will rebound from the jobs report today or what. All right, guys. Can you tell me anything about moving average? Doesn't mean anything. NVIDIA looking dumpy. NVIDIA's at 435. Still looks very strong. Hit almost 440s yesterday. Looks pretty solid. Actually, NVIDIA looks better than a lot of stuff. NVIDIA's actually trying to go green on the day. If you look at it, right at 435s, testing that previous closing price, moving up some. And so NVIDIA has been one of the better moves that's kind of helped the market for sure over the last couple days. Like here's a daily chart. NVIDIA back all the way up to 440 level, which is a great sign. Tesla's still moving up some. Again, we got the jobs report dropping in 40 minutes or so. But the market's doing okay. There's the SPY, again, over 430s. Yeah, it depends on what the job numbers come in. Is this guy even reading the comments? Nah, man, I'm not reading the comments at all, bro. I'm just an AI bot that predicted what you were going to ask and just kind of answered the question at the same time you asked it because I'm not reading the comments. Man, those earnings option gamblers yesterday went crazy. Yeah, man, honestly, people get really emotional about positions is something that you'll see. Like that's very consistent in trading is that people just get really emotional about positions. And so if they're wrong about something, they're really rigid in it and they refuse to acknowledge it or look at it. And I think that's the worst way to be. I think the more successful traders are just very flexible and less rigid with their trading and their results and everything. You know. Paramount. Yeah, basically all of Twitter's talking about the Sam Bankman-Fried trial, him finding guilty on 7 out of 7 counts. Did you know Grant Cardone was a Scientologist? I mean, yeah. All right, guys. Hey, SPY's still heading up here. Again, let's watch NVIDIA. NVIDIA is one of the ones that, you know, that one's getting up there. It's at 435s right now. NVIDIA technically green on the day. Definitely helping the market as well. You can see Tesla on the right side. The SPY moving up. The Q moving up. Tech heavy. Apple, of course, still bouncing back some. You know, up to almost 174s right now. Yeah, so they had a guy on TikTok crushing job interviews with Fortune 500 companies and big tech using live AI transcription in Chat GPT AI. What this is going to mean, though, is it's going to be the end of interviews online. You know, it's going to be it's not going to be the end of technical screening. They're just going to make you come in person to do it. They're probably going to do one online and then they're going to do one in-person screening, right? That way they know. Because if you answer everything online and then you come in person and you can't answer anything, they know you cheated, right? And that's going to be the real catch of it, for sure. Yeah, Bitcoin is either the best or worst asset in terms of appreciation or depreciation every year. All right, team. Hey, look at NVIDIA ramp up, Dragon Tech back up with it. Again, Apple broke 104s or 174s. I mean, Apple over 174s. NVIDIA shooting up to 430s. Again, maybe this job report is going to come in good. Apple's starting to climb back. Again, this job report has the ability to influence all of this stuff in a crazy heavy way, though. Yeah, this job report's big. Oh, rest in peace. We got a report coming through that said Apple Mac plunged 7.6 billion in Q4, but Tim Cook is expecting the holiday season to be good. Yeah, the holiday season always is pretty good. What a pop on Paycom. Think it'll go back to 200 and come back down. I have no idea. I don't know much about Paycom, brother. I know symbols PAYC. It's back up to 160, but I mean, it was, you know, I mean, it moving up, you know, it moving up a small amount doesn't compensate. The only play I took was I bought the dip when it first dipped down to 170s and then sold most of it at 180s. It's all the way at 160 now, though, so it's just dropped a lot already. Yeah, Roku ripped up big. Roku did have a really good time. You know, Roku, big pop, big move up on Roku. All right, team. Unemployment, non-farm payroll data. You ready? You get ready to day trade some at the opening bell too. All right, team. Again, we'll see if we get anything good. I've thought about Forex trading lately too in futures. All right, look at Tesla still rise. Apple over 174s. We got 30 minutes until this report drops, guys. 30 minutes left. Again, you can see NVIDIA all the way up to 437s. You know, not the lifetime high. The previous high is right around 439s right now. Still moving up. Very bullish market. Apple, again, rebounding back from some of the dips it made on earnings yesterday. Again, Apple climbing back over 174s for a second, mostly following NVIDIA right now. NVIDIA is ramping up. I'm trying to see if there's any news out for this. I'm trying to see if we have any news. I don't think we do. If you guys see anything, let me know. Fubo earnings are out. Yeah, PayPal still holding okay. Hey, what's up, James? Hey, thanks, man. Is that you, James Fierro? What's up, brother? Hope you're doing good, man. I see you on Facebook, man. Hope you're doing good, bro. I think that's you. I can't tell by the picture. It's small. Are you in any trades this morning? I took a long scalp. I'm in some trades, but they're long-term investments. You know what I mean? So they're Apple. I'm in a bunch of stuff, right? I'll give you my list. Apple, AMC, ARM, American Express, Citigroup, Chewy, Disney, Etsy, Ford, Gold, Google, Home Depot, Honeywell, Coca-Cola, MGM, Microsoft, Netflix, Nike, Oracle, Pfizer, PayPal, RTX, Snapchat, SPY, Square, Target, Tesla, Tyson Foods, Walgreens, Walmart, and ExxonMobil are the stocks that I'm in right now. I'm green on this current portfolio as well. And yeah, yesterday was a really good day, to be honest. Tesla flying up to almost 220. Hey, thanks, bro. Hope you're doing good, man. I'll have to holler at you if I'm ever in Florida, brother. It's been a while since I've been deep, especially lower in the Panhandle. Like when we go travel, man, a lot of the time we go to like Orange Beach, you know, stuff like that. So I'm not sure how close that is to you, James, but if we're ever there, brother, you know, I think your kid is the same age as my kid too. So like, you know, if I'm ever there, bro, we can meet up. 30-year mortgage and car loans cost you 8% and will impact consumer behavior. Yeah, car loans are just so expensive right now, man. I think the biggest bubble right now is in automobiles outside of houses, right? Cars are crazy expensive, unnecessarily expensive right now. You know, when we had that person post the budget, post the budget. And again, I tried to critique it. Like my bias was to critique it, like, oh, this person can trim their budget, right? But then I read it and I couldn't really find anywhere to trim, you know. Again, and you guys let me know. So she said her monthly bills were, or she said her pay was $3,000 after taxes, and she got $400 in child support, so $3,400. Rent was $1,200 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Utilities, gas, water, electric, $300. I think the first thing she could do, although right now it might be hard to find that rent, but I think the first thing she could do is bump down to either, if she's got, how many kids she's got? 2 children. Yeah, bump it down, bro. They can share a room. You know, if you're struggling this much, bump it down. They can share a room. I think number one. That's the only really critique I have. So she said she makes $3,400 a month, all things included. Rent is $1,200. Utilities is $300. Phone and internet is $125. Childcare is $200. Food is $600. Car note is $300. Gas is $200. Insurance is about $400 for both health and car. You know, and again, that doesn't include kids, clothes, laundry supplies, school snacks, field trips, car repair, holidays, you know, kids sports, cleaning supplies, all that stuff. So, and again, I can't really think of anything to trim in this budget. You know, it's a tough budget to fix because, again, and $3,400 is not a small amount of money. You know, the only way I could say maybe bump down, but honestly, $1,200 a month for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath is pretty solid, I would say. So, like, I can't really critique her rent either. But just to show you how bad inflation is right now, how expensive things are.
with all things included. And honestly, getting a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $1,200 is a pretty good deal, dude. I don't know where she got that deal, but that's still pretty solid. Yeah, the comments are saying the same thing. Nobody's renting a 3-bed, 2-bath for $1,200. All right, guys. Hey, we got 25 minutes. Hey, sounds good, James. I'm not sure when I'll be there, bro, but I'll hit you up when I am. I haven't seen Dumb Money yet. I'm not going out in theaters to watch it. Yeah, man. Yeah, again, I want to see it, of course, but like I don't know. I'm not going to the movie theater to see it. Fruits are expensive. Oh, they're super expensive. If you want to eat organic too, they're even more expensive. Gold's been having a pretty good week, man. Gold up to basically 2,000. It's been pretty flat the last couple of days, but gold made another pump. It's almost at 2,000 again. It's at 1995 right now. Gold had a great year. It's at 1,600 to start the year. It's at 2,000. A lot of people don't understand long-term gold investing. One of the better performing historical, assets. Gold has 6x'd over the last 25 years, right? The S&P is what? 4x, 3.5x. And so gold has been one of the best appreciating assets outside of like crypto, I would say, in some ways. So gold, if you got a long-term portfolio, in my opinion, and again, I'm not telling you what to do, but in my opinion, investing in gold is a good move if you're at least diversify into it. Like you got to buy some, I think. You got to download it and stream it. No, I don't do that stuff, man. There's too many like nonsense viruses that I can get on my computer. Hey. All right, guys. Sorry, Carol's in here talking to me. Huh? All right, love you. Right, that budget's as basic as it can get, And again, honestly, a lot of stuff is cheap, which kind of goes to show how expensive stuff is right now. Buy or sell? I'm not sure. Hey, thanks so much, James. You as well, brother. You as well, man. Institutions monitor YouTube. Nah, no, they don't, dude. Bro, listen, David. I'm not saying I'm not against conspiracy theories, brother. Okay, like I'm not against conspiracy theories. Okay, but if you think anybody cares what our 500 to 1,000 plus people here do, you're wrong. All right, like we could all buy the S&P 500 at the same time, and it ain't gonna make much influence over it, bro. So if you think like hedge funds care what we're doing, a bunch of retail traders, you're wrong. They don't care. They're watching big money and larger sample sizes than my YouTube stream, bro. And I would love to think that I had a big enough stream to, we get over 1,000 people here live. Apple, we had over 2,000 people here yesterday. And so we get some big numbers for our big streams, but again, they're not watching them. Again, Tesla started to move up. About to go green on the day for Tesla. Tesla about to fight back, go green on the day. We still got 20 plus minutes, about 21 minutes left until non-farm payrolls and unemployment comes out. We still got time. Again, will these numbers come in high or low, good or bad? Will the market react positive or negative to this number report? Let me know, guys, in chat. I'm definitely seeing less interest today in markets. Yeah, of course I don't know what the market's going to do. Nobody knows. John rules his block with an iron fist. Definitely. It worked for GameStop, right? But GameStop at the time of the squeeze had a 40 million float, right? A very small float. The S&P 500 and Tesla and Nvidia have much larger floats, and they're not manipulatable. That's trading 101, brother. Like, that's stock trading 101. You know, low float stocks are manipulatable. Like, that's why so many scammers and penny stock pumpers are in penny stocks, because they're targeting low float crappy companies that you can manipulate. Again, we could all buy the S&P 500 at one time, and it's not going to move it much at all, bro. You know, and so again, that's the first thing you want to start to understand about stocks, is that it depends on the float size. It depends on how many shares are out there. You know, if you have, if you buy 10,000 shares of a stock that only has 500,000 in the float, that's, you know, a pretty big percentage of that float. You know, that's a very large percentage of that float relative. And so buying that 10,000 shares of the 500,000 float stock will probably move that stock a big amount, right? If I buy 10,000 shares of the S&P 500 or something that has over a billion shares in the float, it's not going to do anything. You know what I mean? It's not going to do anything. Like, it's not going to move that stock. It might move it a very, very like fractional amount, but it's not going to have any heavy influence over it at all. And so you have to understand that nuance of trading. Everything's not manipulatable, you know, everything's not influenceable. And it's important to understand that, because, you know, I've had people come to my stream and they're like, hey guys, if we all buy Apple at one point, we get rich. And it's like, dude, research what a float is and understand that Apple has a very large one. And so it's just not manipulatable. All right, so the world's richest people in 2023, according to Benzinga. Elon still at the top, 230 billion net worth. Bernard Arnault, the owner of Louis Vuitton and a bunch of other brands, I think he owns like cognac, is number 2. Jeff Bezos, number 3. Larry Ellison at number 4. Warren Buffett, number 5. Bill Gates, number 6. Mark Z, number 7. Larry Page, number 8. Steve Ballmer, number 9. And Sergey Brin, who was the founder of Google, at number 10. All right, guys. Hey, we got 20 minutes left. Hey, thanks so much, James. Blessings to you too, brother. Thanks for teaching me this. Hey, all good. A lot of people think the Fed might stop raising rates. Well, they have stopped so far. It depends on what the market does in terms of what they're going to do. Top 3 richest, definitely top 3. Again, PayPal all the way down to the previous close. Tesla now technically green on the day, fighting its way back. Look at Tesla up to 219s on the day. That's great. Again, Apple is another one you want to watch. Apple slowly fighting back, not quite over 174s. Here's the SPY itself on the left side. SPY all the way. This is why I watch the 200 EMA and the volume weighted average price, team. If you want to see why we watch this is why we watch the 200 EMA, the volume weighted average price, because it's such a heavy bounce level. You know, a VWAP bounce at that spot makes a lot of sense. You know, you get a break over it, pull back, bounce a lot of the time. We talked about this on Top Step TV not too long ago when we were on that show. Again, I watch both of these at the same time, because if we don't bounce at one, a lot of the time we bounce at the other. And then with that in mind, if we break underneath it, then that's a clear sentiment changing thing where, you know, it can turn bearish really quickly if we break underneath both of those levels, because a lot of traders are watching the 200 EMA, they're watching the volume weighted average price. And so their sentiment changes whenever we break under it, just to understand like the technical nuance of it. Would you rather have 50 cash guaranteed or flip a coin for $1 million? Flip a coin for $1 million, 100%. $50,000. I'm not saying it's not a lot of money to me, but it's not life-changing money to me. Whereas $1 million would probably be. Well, Tim Cook's a CEO. You know, he didn't found Apple. If payrolls are positive, where will gold go? Probably down. You know, higher payroll numbers is going to cause a negative effect on the market, I think, right now. Why? Because Powell specifically stated many times that the labor market is too strong, and that if we want to hit inflation targets, the labor market needs to cool. Right. And so with all that said, you know, that's something that you definitely want to pay attention to, is what the labor market is doing. And so I think if payroll numbers come in high, the market's going to fall. I think if unemployment numbers come in low, the market's going to fall. I think what the Fed and the market itself want right now is a cooler labor market, a lower labor market. They want lower than expected payroll numbers, lower than expected unemployment numbers, or no, higher than expected unemployment numbers, I'm assuming. Nah, 50,000 is a lot of money to me. You know, like, it's not a small amount by any means, but it's just not life-changing money to me. My life wouldn't change very much at all if I had an extra 50K. No offense. It just wouldn't. Now a million's a different story, you know. In terms of like the risk reward, you know, I'll take the coin flip for a mil. Again, SPY bouncing up. It's at 430.20s. Tesla at 219s. If you had 50K, where would you invest it right now? Invest long term. You know, Apple, Amazon, Walmart, probably some microchips, gold, real estate, probably some bonds as well. You know, I'd probably diversify into all those different things. I'd probably just buy the S&P, the NASDAQ, gold, real estate ETFs, and bonds, you know, and just kind of sit on that long term. That's a pretty good portfolio long term, in my opinion. But again, I can't guarantee you're going to get rich or make money from it. Nobody can. The AI anomaly is pushing productivity up. Is the Fed even understanding this? Probably, but again, the Fed is looking at the job market and all the spending that's going on. Like when the Fed says they want to push down the labor market, and the labor market has been resilient, what they're really saying is people are spending too much money. People are still spending too much money, obviously, so they want to discourage that spending. That's why they raise rates in the first place. You raise the federal funds rate, it makes banking more expensive. Banks raise interest rates to consumers. Consumers stop spending, and then prices go down because businesses lower them because people aren't spending as much. That is why the Fed raises rates. It happens every 6 weeks. The rate hike decision happens every 6 weeks, and that's why, you know, they do it, is to discourage spending, right? And so the Fed wants a worse labor market, a cooling labor market, I should say, because they want spending to dry up, because that's going to combat inflation better. Again, Tesla technically green on the day. SPY up to 430.50s, 430.50s on the SPY. All right, team. LMT. So are you going long? I'm long right now. Long term, the only real edge is long. Anybody that tries to short blue chip healthy companies long term is usually just somebody who's really, I'm not going to say gullible. I'm just going to say they're not really thinking smart about it. They're not really thinking clearly about it. Again, the reason I say that is because the biggest long-term edge you ever have in anything is value investing, researching healthy companies, diversifying into them, and sitting on them long-term is the biggest edge you'll ever have in markets in general. You know, again, historically, it'll give you about 10% a year, which is the biggest edge you'll ever get on anything else. And so, you know, don't underestimate that edge. If we're talking long-term, the only real play is blue chip value investing in bonds, you know, maybe real estate, gold, but like, they're all the kind of same thing. They're all inflationary hedges. Anyways, SPY sitting pretty sideways right now over the last few minutes. Tesla technically over the previous closing price. Technically over the previous close. We still got over 11 minutes left. So waiting on these non-farm payroll numbers and unemployment numbers. Again, slap the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. We got over 600 people here already. We'll have over 1,000 when these numbers drop. And so again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I don't know. PayPal's maybe speculatable. Google, Amazon are going to be fine long term, of course. PayPal's a little bit more vulnerable, I think, because of specifically like financial technology growth with crypto and sending money and competition. But I think they'll still probably be okay. I think too much big money's behind it for it to fail, and they got really good marketing budgets, and it's already engraved in a lot of people's routines. So, and that's hard to change once it starts. Tesla, again, still at 219. We'll see if it holds. We got Nvidia here, team. Nvidia at 436 is here. Back green on the day, very nicely green, over the VWAP, over the 200 EMA, over the previous close. And yeah, we'll see if we continue to get some great action here. Powell is never clear in his speech, except that one Jackson Hole speech. He's so clear to do what's he's so scared to do what's necessary. He just does whatever's expected. Well, most of the time the Fed does what's expected. You know, you got to understand Powell doesn't want to cause a market crash or a depression. I should say, not a market crash. Powell doesn't want to cause a depression, right? And you have to understand that these rate hikes have about a year lag in them. You know, and so it's like, while you might see Powell raising rates aggressively over the last year and a half and not see any super downside to it, those rate hikes will start taking a toll on banks over time. And that weakness in banks can trickle into just a broad nationwide depression or a market crash. You know, we saw a mini one in March, mostly from rate hikes that we got last year, you know, where a lot of regional banks failed in March, again, mostly from rate hikes that we got last year. And so it's important to understand that nuance of this, in which, you know, you got to understand that Powell doesn't want to play cleanup and just cause a crash or cause a depression and play cleanup afterwards. Powell wants to do what's called a soft landing, which is raise rates aggressively to combat inflation, which is what we've been seeing. Inflation's been going down regardless of what people say. It's been slowing, okay, is a better word for it. Not going down, but inflation has been slowing. It's always going to happen, but it's been slowing, which is what they want. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the thing and nuance you have to understand about it. Again, I'm okay with him ripping the Band-Aid off and raising rates aggressively and then ripping the Band-Aid off. But a lot of people aren't, and he doesn't want a market crash or a depression under his watch, you know. And so he's balanced. But a lot of the time, the Fed is balanced. All right, guys, 8 minutes before payroll numbers. Again, I think if these come in high, the market's going to fall. If you had $1 million and had the ability to go through time and see the future of price action, which one stock would you choose and invest it in? That's a very difficult question to answer. So if I knew what was going to happen, I would invest it into whatever the most successful company was, whatever that is, you know. Do you think Disney will get on the rally? 20%. Disney's up a little bit. I mean, I'm in Disney right now, and we're green in it. It's at, my average price on Disney is 81s. It's at 83.50s right now. I'm not holding a huge position too, but I'm in a small one, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. All right, guys. Hey, we got 7 minutes. 7 minutes. We got about 700 people here live. Again, slap that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's do this, team. Yeah, let's break 200 likes real quick if we can. Yeah, Disney earnings next week. AMC earnings next week. Next week's pretty quiet with economic reports, but we do have some earnings. September was 187,000. October's was 338. Yeah. And again, we had prelim payroll numbers earlier in this week, guys. So the prelim numbers came in specifically at, remember, Wednesday we had prelim numbers. So Wednesday non-farm employment, or the non-farm employment change numbers came in very light. Expectations was 150K. This one came in at 113K. And so again, this is something in which if payroll numbers come in really light, it's almost certainly going to pop the market up. Again, maybe not. It really, the nuance of it is what is the market fear right now? Again, today for unemployment, we're expected at 3.8%. Non-farm payrolls expected at 180K for non-farm payrolls. We also have services PMI data coming out at 10 a.m. So we got services PMI dropping as well later on today too. And so, yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming out today again. All right, team, 5 minutes plus, 5 minutes plus. Again, we've seen some big moves this morning in NVIDIA testing that 436, 440 level. Tesla fighting its way back, technically green on the day. If we put up the NASDAQ here, here's the Q. Again, Q sitting pretty red on the day, but trying to fight back. SPY doing a little bit better than the Q, looking less weak, which means that tech might have been a little weak from Apple, but the rest of the market's doing okay. SPY still over 430s. Wasn't really super affected by Apple earnings. Again, the Q obviously is going to be a little bit more affected because it's more tech-based, tech-heavy ETF. But the markets are still up a lot over the last few days. But here we go. SPY at 430s, team. They want employment, so they have to cut to get people back. Yeah. What's up, Lewis? All right, team. You guys ready? All right, guys. Again, the SPY up to 430.50s, 430.50s. Tesla at 218.44s. Q still bouncing up a little bit, guys. 4 minutes, team. Do you get a dividend on a shorted stock? No. Not for shorting a stock. Again, shorting a stock is borrowing shares from long-term investors. Those long-term investors might earn a dividend from holding long-term, but the shorter who's borrowing the shares is not going to earn a divvy from it. Again, that's one of the reasons you don't see a lot of penny stock shorts available, because not many penny stocks have long-term investors. All right, so Jeff Bezos is moving to Miami from Seattle. Bro, Sam Bankman-Fried has got to be the nerdiest looking dude ever. Like, I'm a nerdy guy, okay? I like Star Wars and programming and Pokemon, okay? And like tech and stuff like that. Like, I'm a nerdy guy, all right? Sam Bankman-Fried's a completely different level. Completely different level. All right, guys. Hey, we got 2 minutes. I gotta go to the bathroom. What should I do? In your pants, bro. Do it now, man. Listen, you know, economic reports. Don't leave. Economic reports over everything, bro. Take the sacrifice, man. All right, team. You guys ready? Data drops in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right, guys, a minute and a half. You look good for a nerd, John. Hey, definitely top 3 best looking nerds in the world right now for sure. Again, guys, a minute and a half. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. The data's about to drop. Q bouncing, SPY bouncing. SPY trying to go green on the day ahead of this report. It might not last though if this number come in, if payroll numbers come in really hot. The green might not last on the day. We'll see. 1 minute, team. 1 minute. Again, we're also going to throw this thing in sub-only mode. So if you haven't already, guys, listen. I'm not going to pressure you to subscribe, but if you don't sub, I'll hate you forever, okay? Don't be a hater. Subscribe to the channel. You know you want to. All right, team, here we go. 40 seconds, guys, 40 seconds. SPY pulling back a little bit ahead of this report. Tesla, I'm going to put something else besides Tesla. I'm going to put like the Q up or maybe gold instead. Here's gold. Let's watch gold. We can also put like the Dixie up. I'm going to put the NASDAQ up instead. So we got the Q and the SPY and then on the charts right now. Again, 20 seconds roughly, give or take. All right, team. It's time. 10 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. The Q is starting to react already. All right, here's the report. Market already down a little bit. Did they know something we didn't? All right, guys. Canadian numbers just dropped. Non-farm payrolls 150K, lower than expected. The market is ripping up. Lower than expected. Slightly higher than expected unemployment and lower non-farm payrolls. This is great for the market right now. This should honestly really massively benefit the market. Payroll numbers came in light. Unemployment came in high. Those are both the things that I told you the market would probably like, as opposed to what's, conventionally, pushed. So yeah, again, SPY ripping up to 432s right now. The Q all the way up to 364s. Beautiful report. Again, we cover this fast. Subscribe. We cover it incredibly quickly within within a quarter second. We dropped that report, guys. So again, if you haven't already, I'm going to put this data up on screen so you can see it. But yes, we came in much lower than expected for payroll numbers. Much lower than expected for payroll numbers. Private payroll numbers did come in much lower than expected as well. And then again, unemployment came in slightly high. So that's good. Honestly, that's good. That's what the market wants. Again, 3.9% for unemployment. Non-farm payroll numbers hitting 150K versus 180,000 expected. And here's the data right here. Again, market ripping up on this report. I told you guys we probably would. My portfolio is bouncing again. You love to see it. See what Apple's doing with all this stuff. So again, let's see what Apple's doing. Al said he wanted a cooling labor market, and we got it. We got it. Market ripping. All right, non-farm payroll numbers coming in much better than expected, much lower than expected. Again, I told you guys this nuance. I told you this is what the market wanted, and it is helping everything right now. The Q flying up to 364s. Again, the SPY up to 430s. Gold right now making a pump up to over 2,000 an ounce. What else? Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin even bouncing up a little bit with us. Apple moving up, not as much as everything else. Tesla flying up over 220s right now. Over 220s on Tesla. Again, PayPal moving up. Overall, just a great move. Market's flying right now. Market's flying. Again, so much cooler labor market. Definitely what Powell wanted. Again, we thought it would help if we came in lower, and we did. Does the market hold its gains today? Yes or no? Vote on that poll. Big pop up though, guys. Big move. Big greed action. Again, what's NVIDIA doing right now? NVIDIA almost up to 40s right now, dragging the market up. Again, my portfolio still looking nice today, guys. Still looking nice. Honeywell's starting to do better too. That's the one trade that was kind of a little sketch. Tesla, man, what a move. You love to see it. See if we get a Santa rally. Again, NVIDIA still pushing up. Yeah, I mean, I told you guys, again, you have to look at what Powell's saying here, okay? We told you guys this before. But Powell said He specifically wanted, and Powell said, in order to hit our 2% inflation target, we needed a cooler labor market. We needed our labor market to cool, that it was hotter than it should be, and that if we want to hit inflation targets, we need it down, right? And so again, I told you guys before this, high payroll numbers would probably make the market tank. Low payroll numbers like we got would probably make the market rip, as it did. Unemployment also came in higher than expected, which is, again, conventionally negative, but we're not in convention right now. We're in an inflation-fearing market, and the Fed fearing inflation, and the Fed wanting to discourage the labor market, which it looks like the labor market is cooling for sure. Unemployment high, payroll numbers low. Those are both obvious signs of a cooler labor market, and it is great news, to be honest. It's great news for the market. Again, if you haven't already, check out TopStep. If you want to day trade some of this stuff, man, check out TopStep. It's the limited risk way of learning to trade, and if you're good enough, you can get funded between $50,000 to $150,000. They pay out millions every year to their funded traders, fund thousands a year. What they do is they give you a demo in futures, and in the futures market, you can basically day trade the SPY price action in what's called the E-mini. It's the S&P 500, open and pre-market though, so it's very much like the SPY. You can trade the Q essentially in what's called the NQ or the NASDAQ in futures. There's no PDT rule. You can day trade short, buy market, sell market, all that good stuff. No PDT rule. And they give you a demo and they test your skill. It's only $49 for the base one. And if you pass that test, they fund you $50,000 with a 90% split. And it's a great way to learn. It's the best of both worlds, because if you lose, you're only out $49. If you're good enough to pass it, you get $50K in funding with a 90% split. There's free funding, coaches, just taking the challenge, build your skill, even if you lose. And to be fair, I think most day traders lose. And so most day traders are probably going to lose these too, because most lose. But it's a lot cheaper to lose this than putting up thousands yourself and risking that most of the time, at least. Again, if you want to check them out, they are a sponsor of mine. Great way to help support your boy and support this channel. I'll put it in right here. Check out the link. Yeah, are we going to get a Santa rally? Honestly, so far we kind of have, to be honest. So far we kind of have. Again, NVIDIA churning up, testing 440, just tapped it. Q pop it up. Tech reacting a little bit down now, but very good report. Very good report. Gold rip it up. Yeah, over $2,000 an ounce right now. Link is right below you, David. Pass the win and activate it. Hey, good luck. Hey, congrats, Hung. Nice, bro. DraftKings made good moves yesterday. Yeah, SQ did too. All right. Apple going up. Yeah, Apple should be moving up with it. I mean, Apple had pretty good earnings. Started to fight its way back. Still got time. Still needs time. But Apple's looking pretty solid. So again, non-farm payroll unemployment numbers came out. We also have today, guys, stick around. This is not the only economic report we got today, guys. So again, we got services PMI later on today. So we got services PMI at 10 a.m. At 10 a.m. we got services PMI. Or we got services PMI at 9:45, but we got the ISM services PMI at 10. So services PMI data dropping. With the SPY at 433s right now. Looks good. Looks good. Let's see if it holds. We'll try to day trade some too. Even Disney moving up with the stuff too. Again, my portfolio is looking okay today for sure. Definitely a good few days. But hey, non-farm payrolls, unemployment. Pretty solid report here, team. Hey, what's up, Brent? Yeah, you're a little bit late now then. Interesting. Gold, silver, SPY, and oil all moving up at the same rate. Yeah, I mean, those are all inflation hedges. You know, gold, silver, SPY, oil. A lot of people buy all those things for hedges against inflation. Except for maybe oil, but that one, some people I'm sure do. So they're all going to move with each other. Oil moves a little different. Or oil's the only one that's a little bit, you know. I'm laughing at some of these guys. My son wagered their Halloween candy against me in Mario Kart. Huge mistake. After serving them a massive L of epic proportions, I'm slowly eating their candy in front of them while maintaining eye contact to assert my dominance. Honestly, I was never that type of parent that let their kid win. The only time I let my kid win, my daughter always talks about it because my daughter is like a baseball player now and kind of like an athlete, right? And I've been playing soccer with her in our living room since she was like 3, And so up until she was about 5, she won, because if she didn't win, she was going to throw a freaking temper tantrum because that's what 3-year-olds do. But anyways, so I let her win up until she was like, 5 or 6. And then all of a sudden after 6, it's like, okay, now you got to beat me. And they just got started, she would even say, she was like, man, I used to be so good at soccer. And I looked at her the other day and I was like, Manny, do you think you were really beating your 30-year-old father in soccer? And she was like, oh. And she was like, that makes a lot of sense. It's like, yep. Anyways, non-farm payroll numbers out. Job market going down. Yeah, Fubo did great. Hey, all good, Snow. 2,100 today. What's your thoughts on Bitcoin? I have no idea. Big Al? Nah, cry about it. Job market payroll going down is bullish, right? Yep. Well, the market's up. Again, Powell specifically said on Wednesday for the FOMC meeting that he wanted to cool the labor market. Yeah, JP's loving this data right now. That's what he said they needed for inflation to get to the 2% target, is they needed a cooler labor market, which is exactly what higher unemployment and lower payroll numbers is a cooling labor market, less people working, This guy Pug says, and again, I'm reading just random people on Twitter regarding GameStop. He said, GameStop has over $1 billion in cash, 0 debt, improved e-commerce, cut the fat. CEO believes in GameStop, 0 salary, and is uncorrupted. Has entered a multi-trillion-dollar industry of Web3. Insider buying. Is the stock soaring? It's down 47% in 3 months. Massive suppression, he says. Right, but what, like, the huge thing that he's missing here is not, like, we can pinpoint all those things, but GameStop is still losing tons of money. Here is GameStop's quarterly EPS graph. SPY bouncing right back up. So here's GameStop's quarterly EPS, right? So GameStop has lost money 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of the last 10 quarters, GameStop has only been profitable in 1 out of 10 of the last 10 quarters. And so yeah, I'm even going to give him this graph. All right, team. SPY moving up to test highs. Q. Rip it up a little bit. Again, if you haven't checked out Top Step already, check them out. Great way to learn how to day trade with less risk, in my opinion. Again, they give you a demo, test your skill. If you can hit the target on the demo without hitting the max loss, they fund you between 50,000 all the way up to 150K with a 90% split. We're going to get ready to trade some futures. We also have services PMI data today. Guys, services PMI data today. Big day. And so again, we do have services PMI. That drops later on this evening or this morning. But it's still a pretty big release. Services PMI is not a small thing. And again, look at the SPY rip here, guys. So the SPY all the way back up to almost 433s here on the SPY, almost back up to almost 433s. All right, guys. Ooh. All right, guys. SPY moving up a little bit. All right, guys. So again, market's still testing highs. Liquidity into the chat. All right, so again, still moving up a little bit here. All right, guys, you guys ready? Let's go. Man, look at the Dow rip up too, man. The Dow flew up as well here, team. All right, we're gonna get ready to trade some futures. Let's do this. Look at the Dow. What a move on these payroll numbers. Again, Powell said he wanted a cooler labor market. That's precisely what we got, is a cooler labor market. All right, guys. Again, next we got non-manufacturing services PMI data. So next we got They'll rip it up on the Dow. Look at the Dow rip. SPY flying up to 433s. Q up to 365s. Crazy moves, man, honestly. All right, so now we got services and non-manufacturing PMI data. Remember, guys, services, non-manufacturing data. All right, so we got a little pullback here. I might buy this little dip, see if we catch a little pop. It's a little extended on the downside for sure, but that's all right. We're also going to get this pull going. Dow moves a little bit low, a little bit less. We got an hour, and we got an hour. No, we got 40. We got 55 minutes. All right, we're slightly green, slightly green. See if we can catch the green action. We got this big retracement back up. We're up 15. Back down, testing that level. Here's when the next services PMI data report comes out. Again, we're in the Dow. We'll probably cut this. I don't want to hold on to this too long. We still got a lot of volatility to trade today. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it and get out small. We're up so much. I don't want to play with fire there. But this is the Dow. I'm going to put up the NASDAQ instead. All right, so we'll see if we bounce. The NASDAQ looking a little bit more rangy, I would say, after the big rip. All right, team. So non-manufacturing. All right, so manufacturing. Still pulling back. I think we could be due for a bounce. Again, PayPal still holding really nicely. Disney all the way back up to $84 a share. Get that out the way. And we got the unemployment data out already. All right, team. All right. Again, services. What else we got today, team? Payroll numbers out. Again, very much cooler job market for sure. Very much cooler job market. And again, I think that's exactly what the Fed wants. That's why the market's loving this so much. Again, where's Apple at right now? What's Apple doing? Again, Disney rip it up. Apple's still over 174. Could be worse. All right, team. We got ISM services PMI data at 10. We got, or no, really the ISM data is actually at 10. The services, regular services PMI is at 945. Services at 945. ISM services at 10. Triple bottom on the Dixie. Start setting alerts here on Chart Prime. Beautiful rip. We got a little flag pattern here. Again, part of me wants to buy it. It is the NASDAQ, super freaking early. I'm checking a 15-minute chart to see if we get any of those edge patterns that I talk about. Okay, a 15-minute chart looks powerful, dude. Okay, I got to show you guys this. So here's Chart Prime, right? Trading View Indicator Service. I use it a lot with these funded account programs. If you want to take longer term trades, and again, I'm gonna preface this with I can't guarantee you're gonna make money. Nobody can, right? I can't guarantee you're gonna make money. Nobody can. It's all up to the trader. But I put up a 15-minute chart and I started checking the E-mini. And again, my thing to back test is when you get a reversal signal and an engulfing candle right on top of each other. So you can see none of these are working because there's no engulfing candle on top of these reversal signals. I'm not saying they're working. Some of these are working, right? Look at reversal down, drop, all that good stuff. But when they're right on top of each other, specifically like this, and this is a 15-minute chart. So every candle represents 15 minutes, just to show you a little bit longer term of a back test here. Bearish engulfing reversal signal, nice bounce. All right. And again, I've been testing it on a 15-minute chart. It looks genuinely accurate. Again, reversal up worked, but there's no engulfing candle. So I need the engulfing candle to, like, look at this, reversal up, reversal down. Those followed through really nicely. Again, reversal up, reversal down, reversal down. Those both worked as well. Reversal down. This one maybe failed. But that's one that worked, one that didn't. Or two that worked, one that didn't. But like, look at this, right? So that's three that worked, one that didn't. Reversal up, bullish engulfing candle right on top of each other is when it works the best. And then a beautiful bounce. And again, we can keep going here and you can keep kind of seeing what I mean with this. Let's find another one. Look, engulfing candle, reversal signal, literally right on top of each other, right around the same candle. Beautiful rejection. I think the accuracy's got to be profound there. And so what, that's like 5 or 6 to 1 right now. And keep scrolling, keep looking. Look, same thing, two of them right here. Bullish engulfing, reversal signal, beautiful bounce. bullish engulfing reversal signal, beautiful bounce. And again, you can keep going and checking that. This is a company called Chart Prime. It's a trading view indicator service you can use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. I just want to show you guys what I back test here. Look, on a 15-minute chart, so it's a longer term strategy. Maybe a good strategy with this would be to like take micros and track it using like specifically using micros. I think that would make a lot of sense because it's a longer term trade. But same thing here, bullish engulfing reversal signal right on top of each other. Huge rip up. Bullish engulfing bearish engulfing reversal signal, beautiful breakdown. So again, I think this has some validity back testing it. I can't guarantee you're going to make money, of course. Nobody can. But tell me when the last time you saw one that didn't work was. Look, reversal bullish engulfing candle right on top of each other. Beautiful bounce. And it makes it really easy to look at too because you can set alerts. You can set alerts. Look, bullish engulfing reversal signal right on top of each other. Same thing here as well. And so again, that looks like one of my favorite. Look right here too. That looks like one that this looks like one that really, has some validity. Of course, there's so much other stuff that Chart Prime offers. I can put up chart patterns. I can put up, Market Oracle Pro, so like shorter term signals, buy, sell signals, all that good stuff. And there's so many different things that I can use. It'll show me like flags, reversals. Like, look, you can see wedge breaks here. You can see when it breaks the wedge, short term, long term, any time frame, stocks, crypto, forex, futures. Again, it's called Chart Prime. Trading view indicator service. They are a sponsor of mine, and so I'm biased in their favor because they pay me money, of course, but I think they're genuinely useful in my opinion. But if you want to check them out, great way to help support the channel is by supporting our sponsors, and I think this sponsor can genuinely be useful if you like trading. Again, funded account programs, this seems to help them as well, and so again, you can check out the link right here. If you want to use it with Top Step, you can find both of those links in the description. And yeah, appreciate the love, guys. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any good back-tested strategies using Chart Prime, again, let me know because I'm always open to like finding new ones and I'm always tracking which things are working. The other thing to understand is that I can set an alert, which is what I'm about to do here. So I want to set an alert. Let me get rid of this one. And I'm going to set alert on the E-mini where it alerts me when we get a reversal up. Possible reversal up. We'll give it only once. A reversal with candle to notify us. We can just have it notify us. We can even have it play a sound if one shows up. I can get an email sent. I can get a URL sent. I can send an email. I can probably get it sent to my phone. Yeah, email to DM. All right, so we're going to create this alert, and we're also going to have to do one on the downside. So that was the reversal up, right? Let's create another one. Again, we'll find it, Market Oracle, reversal down, only once, create. And so again, we're also going to have to confirm that it has the actual candlestick on it. But again, that one looks legit. Again, let me know if you guys have any other good ones. Yeah, that's what a lot of people get wrong, man. I think what truly happens, do I have a cushion for the day? No, I'm down slightly on the day right now. That is the NASDAQ, the NQ, or no, that's the E-mini, the S&P 500 is basically what this is. But yeah, so again, what you guys got to understand is that what I think happens to most people who are trying to predict these big stock market crashes, right? Like, I think there's a couple nuances. And again, please don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger here. Like, I'm just the messenger. Okay. And maybe I'm wrong. And so if a lot of the time people get mad because they know that's how they know that I got it right here. You know what I mean? And, so again, just don't get mad at me if you feel like there might be some similarities with yourself and your own bias and what I'm about to say. Okay. But like a lot of people over predict crashes. And where it comes from, it stems from a couple different things. One of them is because they're short, right? They're taking big put option gambling positions ahead of earnings, betting on some big volatile crash. A lot of the time it's because there's multiple different biases. Another one is because they missed out on the upward movement, right? So a lot of people were calling a crash late in 2022, like late last year. A lot of people were calling for a market crash, and then the market ended up ripping 10+%. And a lot of people missed out on it because they were too busy calling crashes. And so that's where their bias is like, instead of being like, man, I was wrong, I should have gone long, they're going to say, oh, well, I'm right, I'm just going to wait for it. And so that's another one. The other one is political reasons, like if you dislike the current administration. And again, I'm neutral politically. I'm pretty neutral. But if you dislike the current administration, obviously some people in that regard want the market to do poorly so they can justify disliking the current administration, right? And again, I'm neutral politically, right? But that's certainly one of the influences of people who always bet market crashes. The other major one I would say is you got a lot of big YouTubers, traders on YouTube, influencers that push market crashes. Why? Because they get clicks. Right? And so they tell you every freaking week a market's about to crash. And I don't even know if they really know what a crash is. A crash is like a 20% drop, short term, which is just very, very unlikely, right? But putting that gets clicks, right? Telling people the market's going to crash gets clicks. And this is a different thing than me asking a question, right? Like I ask a lot of questions. I say, is the market going to crash? Is the market going to bounce? Is the bull market back? Right? And people who are weird about it try to use that to say that I called some type of market crash or I called some type of bull market. And again, I'm asking a question. There's a difference between a statement and a question. But that's where the bias comes from. Understand, crashes, very difficult to predict. They're not easy to predict at all. They might happen 1 out of every 10 years, 1 out of every 5 to 10 years. And you getting it right is very low. I've seen an array of different people calling all these different crashes for the last 5 years, basically. And so that's the first thing you got to understand. You don't want to let a potential crash influence you from not investing long term, because you're going to miss out on so much money doing that, waiting for that crash to happen. And maybe it happens in 10 years and you miss out on 10 years of bullish action, or maybe it happens tomorrow. But either way, people overpredict crashes for sure. So you remember we said the guy talking about GameStop and how GameStop was, that they were keeping GameStop down, keeping the good man down, or stuff like that. I responded with this in the comment section. GameStop has only posted a profitable quarter in 1 out of the last 10 quarters, and it's been losing money the last 6 months, right? And then you know what happened afterwards? Boom, you're unable to view this post because the account owner limits who can view their posts. What a coincidence that all of a sudden happens, man. Again, people are living in the clouds, bro. They just want this stuff to happen. Yeah. Don't hate me, man. I'm just the messenger. Subs rule nonsense drools. Hey. All right, team. High interest rates plus high inflation plus high bond yields. This is not biased nor unreasonable. Oh, for sure. Right. But again, just because those things are there doesn't. Again, high inflation is relative. All right. Like a year and a half ago, we had much higher inflation, right? We also had way more rate hikes. So, it's all relative. Those that say that I generally know the least in my not so humble opinion. Yeah, Tiny, for sure. I mean, again, my way of saying it is like definitive statements usually show a lack of experience, I guess is the nice way to say it. Because people who post really definitive statements haven't experienced being wrong enough. They're probably new, right? Like if you're new to the stock market and trading large caps or following the broader markets instead of like penny stocks and crypto or whatever it is, right? If you're new to following like the broad markets, like the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow, you might not understand that definitive statements are usually wrong. Like that trying to predict what the market's going to do short term is a losing endeavor almost always. And so usually it's the least experienced people who say the definitive things like the market is going to do this, it's going to do this, it's going to do this. And then when it does it, crickets, change subjects, like, you know what I mean? And it's fine to make predictions. Like, it's all good. Like, I'm okay with people making predictions as long as they're not like telling people something is going to happen and pressuring them to do something, which happens a lot. And again, I say this all the time. I say it every day because I try to discourage that type of behavior. And I want my viewers to understand, don't listen to anybody that posts anything definitively, right? If somebody says the market is going to crash tomorrow, you should probably ignore them. If they say the market's going to rip up tomorrow, you should probably ignore them. If they say it might rip up or it might do this or it might do this, then you can listen. But yeah. All right, so market's pulling back down a little bit after this crazy big pump from payroll numbers coming in lower than expected, a more cooling job market, which is what the Fed wanted. SPY still dipping down as well. The Q moving up, Q moving down, but the Q was red before this report and is now green on the day. So let's see if we can end the week strong. If we can, that's amazing news. We'll see if we do, though. What do you think is going to happen, Sam? You lost me from GameStop, brother. Too bad. Enjoying your channel for years. Yeah, Brent, I mean, no offense, but if you're that emotionally attached to a stock that you don't like somebody that dislikes the stock, you're being way too emotional about your positions, brother. Again, I'll say this again. If the company's trying to morally pressure you into not selling, if the community's trying to make you feel all warm and fuzzy about a wildly depreciating asset that runs an obsolete business, they're probably trying to talk you into holding a wildly depreciating asset. You know, everybody's going to disagree on stocks, brother. And again, what you're showing right now is just emotion. Like, you're just emotional about losing, most likely, because somebody that's up is not going to be emotional about it like that. I don't have to support every stock that you like. And if you think that somebody does, you're going to have a hard time finding anybody, except for people who just pat yourself on the back, telling you that their stock is great. And so it's all good. Do whatever you want to do. But yeah, my recommendation is to stop being so emotional. I can't in futures. P. Can you open up a S&P 500 trade pre? I can't in futures. This is the NASDAQ. I can put up the E-mini here, which is the S&P futures contract. There's nothing wrong with the other side. Like, people disagree about stocks with me all the time. It doesn't mean I hate them, right? And if you hate somebody, again, it means you're too emotionally attached to one stock. Again, successful companies like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, they don't need to make you feel all warm and fuzzy and part of a community that's doing the right moral thing. Of course, that's propaganda nonsense, man. They're just hoping people are dumb enough to listen to it and never sell, because their goal is to keep people holding it as long as they can. Again, I just said the only thing I said was truth, which is GameStop's only had one profitable quarter in the last 10. They're running an obsolete business model that's a sketchy one. Like, they're selling physical copies of video games, and physical copies of video games are trending down over the last decade. Like, people don't buy physical copies of video games. I play video games. That's a very obvious thing, is that people don't really buy physical copies anymore. So that's a problem for GameStop. And that's going to continue to happen as technology grows more and more and more. That's a big problem for GameStop. I think, and GameStop has a chance. I'm not saying it's going to fail. I'm just saying I don't think spreading a new conspiracy theory about why GameStop or AMC are going to go crazy squeeze and do the mother of all short squeezes every day is healthy for retail traders. I think it makes them think that the market's some big, crazy thing, that there's always some type of big conspiracy going on. Like, nobody, again, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Nobody cries manipulation more than somebody that's down big on a wildly depreciating asset. And so again, you got to snap yourself out of that reality, brother. All right, so again, let's see if the market holds. S&P 500 is pulling back, but it looks like a big bull flag right now. Yeah, disagreement is what makes the market. Like, we'll see if the market can hold the crazy gains that it put in yesterday. Also, just to put this into perspective, Brent never said anything prior to yesterday, or the day before yesterday was the first time Brent ever said anything on this channel. So, I mean, you know, maybe he's been here for a few years. Maybe he's just trying to make it sound more dramatic. 15 minutes until the opening bell, guys. PayPal's still trying to hold. Again, I've asked this question many times. How does GameStop succeed long-term? Genuinely, how does it succeed long-term? It's losing its business model. That's a very obvious thing. Like, people don't buy physical copies of video games. You know, you got console sales, but a new console only comes out, what, once every 10 years? It's not going to be, that's not going to sustain their business. So what are they going to do? Again, if I was them, I would pivot to like Pokemon and collectibles and stuff like that. I think the markets mesh well with it, and it's a big enough business. Sports memorabilia, collectibles, stuff like that is what I would pivot to if I was GameStop. Because Pokemons are still a game. Nice. So SPY starting to bounce. SPY right under 433s. Let's look at the daily chart. What a good looking chart on the SPY. So SPY kind of broke out of this trend already. We're already up here to 433s. I guess we could still be in this trend. Let me draw it. That would have to be the current trend. I guess that might even still be here. Just depends on if we reject here or not on the SPY. NVIDIA also, like I said, has been ripping up big. Up to over 440s already on NVIDIA. Q up to 364s. All right, so look at this big green action. We've had like 5 or 6 green candles in a row now on the NASDAQ and the E-mini. Apple's starting to creep up over the volume weighted average price. GameStop should change their stores to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu studios. Hey, I'm for it, bro. Listen, I'd go roll there, you know. Yeah, NVIDIA, the NASDAQ still holding. If we get bad data after we didn't cut rates, how are we going to get better? And from an investor long term, how can we be profitable in the markets? Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're asking, to be honest. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been to GameStop. Again, I like GameStop. It's a very nostalgic place for me. You know, people act like I'm just hating on it because I'm spitting the truth out. Again, what I don't think is healthy is, and again, GameStop people, y'all shouldn't like to be manipulated, bro. Like, y'all shouldn't like, you want to know why this guy blocked me? Because he can't manipulate people if they know the truth, right? And they can't grow a following if people realize what it is, right? And so a lot of these guys are just throwing out crazy conspiracy theories, hoping young, naive retail traders buy it about GameStop, and hoping that they can grow a following online with confirmation bias and pandering, right? Like, that's all they're doing, man. They're just putting up a bunch of crazy conspiracy theories. They know everybody that desperately wants GameStop to go higher because they're sitting on bags of losses are going to like what they say because they want that to happen. If you tell people, hey, you're going to win the lottery 5 times tomorrow, of course people are going to want to hear it. It's the same way that people catfish people, right? People catfish people. They put a pretty girl out, they put a pretty girl and they steal an image of a pretty girl and put it on the internet and then pretend to be that girl, and they message 60, 70-year-old baby boomers saying, hey, you're handsome, guy. And they eat it up. They love it. Why? Because they desperately want to believe that somebody that pretty is going to be interested in them, right? So they ignore the red flags. It's the same thing here. Like if you tell everybody you're going to win the lottery tomorrow, I want to believe that, but these guys are manipulating you to grow a following online, as opposed to somebody like me who's telling you the truth to grow a following online. Who do you want to follow? Subscribe. Do it now. Shameless plug. 20% short interest is very compelling. What is GameStop at? It's certainly compelling to a certain extent, but it also should be a pretty bad sign in GameStop's future. Again, GameStop's business model is a very big vulnerability for it. That business model is obsolete that they're currently operating, and everybody knows that. It's why they're losing money. And so I think we have to call a spade and look at that objectively. And I think when GameStop made its initial crazy squeeze, it had like 140 short float, 140% short float, much higher than the 20% short float. What's the current float of GameStop? That's another big influence on it as well. I'm not saying it can't squeeze. What I'm saying is that it's not going to go crazy to 1,000 plus. It's just not reasonable to expect. It needs a larger short float than that, to be honest. All right, SPY testing these highs again. SPY testing the high of the day. NVIDIA did dip down a little bit, so watch tech, but we got this high right up here. We'll see if it actually holds. The S&P averages 7% a year. It averages 8 to 12% a year, actually. But again, what you're missing out trade, you're looking at it too binary. The way you have to look at it, brother, is that, and I know you're bearish, and that's fine, but I think the way you have to look at it is like this, is that the S&P 500 will average 8 to 12% a year normally, but that includes crashes. And so what does that tell you? That tells you that on a good year, it's going to go up much more than that, to compensate for the times that it crashes. And so on good years, it's not unusual for the S&P to run, 15+%. And so, a 5% gain doesn't mean it's the end of it, for sure. And especially a 5% gain when the last 3 months have been down, it's probably just bouncing back up in compensation for the drops that it's made, an extension. It doesn't mean it's going to keep going up. I don't know what it's going to keep doing, but again, if you find yourself betting against the market long term, in terms of the S&P and the Nasdaq or the Dow, you're taking a sucker's bet. It's a rookie trader bet, because the market's usually going to go up long term. Very rarely will the market go down long term, and it hasn't for any extended period of time in history. So if you want to bet on something that's never really happened in history, like the S&P 500 going down long term, y'all are more than welcome to, but you got to understand what you're doing. You're betting against history. You're betting against statistics. Again, we got 7 minutes, team. 7 minutes. Why was oil tanking? I don't know. Oil is up a lot. Oil's up right now. Is oil futures down? Yeah, I see oil futures dipping down. I'm not sure why they're dropping. Here's oil futures. So here's oil, crude dumping. I mean, we're still above yesterday's lows though, so I mean, we're still okay. We're just falling down fast. I'm not sure what's going on. Probably, my guess, probably something overseas, conflict related. Yeah, I'm reading a lot of stuff about the conflict, and I'm sure that's probably that's going to influence oil. Anything going on in the Middle East is going to influence oil. Yeah, but that's one of the longest one in history. Is my talking about 8 years to recover from 2000. Um, that you're most likely including two different crashes in that scenario, which is the 2007, 2008, and the 2000.com crash. I mean, we could look at it, but that's one of the longest ones in history, outside of the 1929 one. And so again, but long term, looking at the SPY, I'm just gonna look at the SPY to make it easier. .com crash happened. We're at 150. Yeah, you're right. It took 7 years to hit 150s again. We're a little bit less than that too, because the crash really didn't start until 01. And then we were mostly trending up since then. So it took maybe 6, but that's one of the longer ones. Again, you look at Black Monday, we rebounded within 2 years, 2 or 3 years. Crashes take years to rebound from, no question, right? And crashes do happen. But again, when you zoom out over 10 years plus, like, you're almost certain to make money long term, is what I mean. You got to understand the meaning of long term, which is like 5, 10 plus years. When you zoom out that much, the markets are going to go up. And so betting short in those periods of time is a risky bet. It's almost certainly not going to work. Now you could target individual companies, and those might have some opportunity, but it's really nuanced and difficult to catch them correctly. If it was me and I was looking to short companies, I would short mid caps, because you got a lot of mid caps specifically that are incredibly overpriced a lot of the time, right? From businesses that are just propped up too much from hype. So what I mean by that is, you can look at Peloton. Obviously Peloton wasn't going to succeed. It got pumped up during the 2020 boom, and it was bound to fail. Dish on demand, a satellite company, a satellite cable company. Technology has evolved past that, and so obviously that's probably going to fail. BYND, Beyond Meat. And these are all shorts that I called out years ago. I told you guys that these were very sketchy and they would probably fail. And I was absolutely right. You look at Beyond Meat now, you look at Peloton now, you look at Dish now. I was right about all of these things. And so if you're going to short companies, I would specifically target mid caps, because those are overinflated, overpriced. People treat them like they're blue chips. They get overhyped in them. They go up way too much. Like Beyond Meat, a fake meat company, right? A lab-grown meat company, basically, for vegans. What they miss, and the nuance of it that a lot of the investors in that company in itself misses, is that vegans are very health conscious. They're not trying to experiment with lab-grown meat. They overestimated the interest that they have in Beyond Meat. And so, they were once $300 a share, 2 something a share, and now what are they at? So now if you look at BYND, Beyond Meat is currently sitting at $7 a share, right? So look at brand new mid caps that aren't listed on the S&P 500. Those are usually the ones that are going to give you some opportunity more than the healthiest companies in the world, like Apple or Amazon or Google or Walmart. You know what I mean? Those are the companies that are incredibly risky to short, because they're the strongest companies in the world. The truth, as many things, is right in the middle. Look at mid caps. That's what I would do. Yeah, mid caps you can short, you can ETB them. They're easy to borrow. So mid caps are more available to short than penny stocks. PayPal's still popping up. Can you explain what a float is? The easiest way to remember what a float is how many shares are floating around out there. And so less shares in the float typically means smaller company, smaller market cap. But if the price is really high, like Chipotle, it doesn't necessarily mean that, because it's all, if you want to see how big a company is, you look at market cap, right? What market cap is it's shares. How many shares are out there? I think it's the outstanding shares multiplied times the price of the stock. It might be the float times the price, but it's how many shares are out there multiplied times the price of the stock. That's going to give you the market capitalization amount, right? So the largest companies in the world have trillions in market cap, like Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, so forth, right? Those are the largest companies in the world. Small companies have millions, right? So they have like 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. Those are tiny companies, right? And mid caps are in between them. Mid caps, examples of those are, again, like Peloton, like DraftKings. I would probably call a mid cap. There's a lot of examples of them. They're really speculative companies, right? So but the problem with them is that they can drop 50, 60, 70, 80% in a year. And so there's some short opportunities in them, because a lot of them are overinflated, overhyped. People invest in them like they're the S&P 500, but they're so much more risky and prone to fail. Anyways, NASDAQ pushing up to 15,000 right now, testing 15K. Speaking of Beyond Meat, it's finally breaking highs up to 720s. But there's the open. PayPal rip it up at the opening bell. I'll probably take a little bit more off of this. Just locked in a little bit more on PayPal. Limit took some shares off there. And my portfolio is still doing really nicely today. Walgreens all the way back to basically green. Tesla still flying up. Market looking very strong. Put Tesla up on the right side. We got manufacturing or services PMI data coming out. Tesla flying. Disney rip it up nicely too. I'll take a little bit off of that one since we got earnings next week. Gonna go and lock in some more profit on Disney. Average price is 81. We're getting out at around 85. We're still holding some, though. We're gonna hold a little piece of it left. Play with it. Locked in some there. Coca-Cola. I think I'll probably take a little bit more off of Coca-Cola here. Rip it up really nicely for me. I'll go ahead and sell some more. Gonna get ready to day trade the opening bell too, man. Look at PayPal. Wow. I'm gonna lock some more into PayPal here too. Broke highs again. We're gonna unload some more. Beautiful. I'll take that. Locking this in. Google, we're now green on Google again. I'll probably keep holding that one though. Home Depot. Honeywell starting to look much better. MGM still red on that one though. Amex. What a week. I'm going to take a little bit off of banks because I think they could see some volatility over the next couple of months. NASDAQ flying up. All right, we took one contract here, but it's risky. All right, so we just locked in a $35 scalp real quick. Took some profit. Apple's still a little red today, but everything else is moving up pretty nicely too. We'll probably lock in some on Target as well. It's up pretty strong today, man. What a green day in the market, man. Love to see it. All right, guys, we got 11 minutes, 34 seconds until services PMI drop. Yeah, a lot of green days in a row. A lot of people were calling for a market crash a week ago. Yeah, a lot of time heals a lot of wounds in the market. That's what you realize, is that like time heals a lot of wounds. People get emotional and sell. The people who lose the most during crashes are people who usually get emotional about their positions and unload. Always down on low demand. USA allowing. All right, so we got a little dip here. Part of me wants to buy this dip, but we're also kind of extended on the upside as well. Yeah, we're going to give it a second. This is on a Combine account, by the way, guys. We're a little bit too close to the open to trade my actual account. There we go. $15, $20. There we go. I just locked in another $40 in profit. We'll switch to our regular account after. So we're up like $70 on the day. I'll see if we get another pullback. Q's starting to rebound too. Watch Tesla though. Tesla is one of the things that could influence negatively. All right, we're long again. I just made another $40. We're up about 100 on the day now. Small scalps. Gold up again today. That's nice. Probably take a little bit off of Chewy. I didn't realize how much I was up in Chewy. I completely forgot about this trade. Start unloading some then. Average price is 17s. I just locked in some more. Took some in Target off. Still red and Tyson Foods. Walmart. They're pretty great. I'll probably just sit in Walmart though. I'm going to take a trade here, but it's also kind of risky because we've had some big upward action. I do have a cushion now that I can trade on though. All right, we got 2 contracts here. I'm just getting punished. Again, this is a Combine account, so I'm okay with losing a little bit here and playing around and maybe having to reset if I need to. Yeah, we're getting punished. We got a little cushion on the day, but I think I'm going to give it a chance to bounce, but I was back to flat on it. All right, so we're going for it. I'm just going to go for resetting this one if we need to. It's a $49 Combine account, so like, we'll reset it if we need to. We're currently funded in 2 different accounts, but this isn't one of them. I like buying the dip. I need Tesla to hold the VWAP though. So we're just having fun. I'd like to get funded on 3 accounts before I start taking crazy big risks. I try to be patient. I can fix my average a little bit real quick. It's a very rare trade where you see me just kind of swinging for the fences at the open, having fun with it. See, the problem is Tesla's testing this low. I never get to play with combine accounts, so yeah, we're about to lose it. It's all good. Well, we took our fun little swing on our combine account. It's $50 for me. But again, what I just did was I tried to build up that first day cushion on my combine account and got destroyed for it, which is okay. Make sure. Okay, yeah, that was the right one. Okay, good. But all right, now we had our fun with our combine account. Let's go to our actual funded account here. And again, like I said today, guys, I'm going to let me find it. Okay. I am going to probably go with micros right now on the actual funded account, which is this one, because I'm going to use Chart Prime. Faked out a little bit. My equities portfolio is still doing really nicely, though. Yeah, for sure, Vic. No, like I said, man, I'm trying to have fun. I probably trade a little bit too conservatively for my chat sometimes, but this is a combine account. Like I said, I made that very clear. So basically, what a combine account is, guys, what I mean by that, the reason I'm not really stressing what looks like $1,000 loss is because what they do is they give you a demo and they test your skill on Top Step. The base one is the 50K one, which is what this was, right? So it's only $49 a month, and I can reset it and start over, right? Basically, they give you a demo and they test your skill. If you can hit 3,000 in profit on this account, and which is what I'm trying to do, like I want to build up a $1,500 cushion to get started, and I don't mind resetting until I have that $1,500 cushion as I make a push towards getting funded in my third one. And so that's what you see me trying to do, is build up that cushion, trying to have some fun at the opening bell for my viewers. Tesla rip it up a little bit late though, but basically again, they give you a demo, they test your skill. If you can hit the target on that demo without hitting the max loss, which you just saw me hit the max loss, they fund you between 50 to 150,000 with a 90% split. They pay out millions every year in actual withdrawals. And again, this is futures. So this is the NASDAQ is what you just saw me trading, right? The NASDAQ, basically the Q. You can see the Q, it's the same price action. Dip, bounce at the opening bell right here on the right side. And so that's what that was. If you want to try to have some fun with me in these accounts, here's the link. But yeah, most of the time I'm scalping. Again, that time we tried to have some fun with it. I don't know if it was unlucky. I'm just trying to, like I said, again, what I do when I'm first trying to get funded is I'll take some big risks in the beginning, try to get funded. Again, this is my actual funded account that you can see right here. So it's the high of the day, so I'm going to wait. And again, I'm also using Chart Prime to see. I need alerts to go off though. And we just don't have any alerts right yet. So I have to just be patient and wait for some alerts to go off. We do have manufacturing PMI in 2 minutes, team. So I'm probably not going to take any funded account trades on this one right now. I think we have one other combine account that we can mess with. So let me see. Because we got this data coming out. I'm not going to take any trades ahead of this report, you know. All right, team. Here's the NASDAQ. Data's about to come out right now. Q flying up right now. Honestly, again, I'm happy. Here's my actual stock portfolio. So in my actual stock portfolio, I'm actually up $540. So we are up $540 on the day today. More than that on the actual portfolio. We're up about How do you like the Quant Tower to your trading combine? When you sign up for it, you choose Quant Tower. want to check this, make sure it's not my funded account. I always get OCD when I'm trying to make sure it's not my funded account. All right, there's the right one. All right, we're here. Non-farm. All right, here we go. 20 seconds, guys. 20 seconds before this release. This is a big report, too. All right, so here we go. Services PMI dropping right now. 10 seconds. Yeah, 100% Sam, for sure. All right, so here's the report. It's live right now. Services PMI came in at 50.6, lower than expected, 50.6, which is probably seen as a positive right now, guys. Again, this is probably seen as a positive. Why is this seen as a positive? Because the job market is lower than expected. More weakness in the services sector, right? So more weakness in the services sector means what? A slower job market, a weaker job market. So again, 50.6 versus 50.9, slightly lower than expected for services PMI. Now, the ISM data actually drops at 10 a.m. So the ISM data drops at 10. And again, I'll put this up on screen so you can see it. Here's the services PMI that just dropped. Yeah, my long would have worked too. So I would have built up that big cushion, but I kind of pivot to focus on stocks too. All right, guys. All right, team. So PMI data, services. ISM service released at 10 a.m. Market's loving this cooler job market. This rally improves the probability for December rally. Yeah, I mean, this is a big rally, man. Again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green candles since I got stopped out on that pullback. So I was right about the direction too, but you got to be able to laugh at your losses. Some of them. If they're a combined account, you can laugh at them. If they're real money, not going to be laughing very hard. Market is still flying up, man. Look at Tesla all the way up at 224s. Honestly, crazy. PayPal still running up here too. Just trying to take as much profit as I can in these. Wow, look at this, man. Look at Tesla. You guys are all bullish. I mean, the market is bullish, you know. I mean, don't get mad at me. Get mad at the market, guys. All right, so we got one red candle that finally showed up here. One red candle that finally showed up. All right, team, services PMI dropping in about 10 minutes here. 10 minutes, team. I'm going to put the timer up and show you guys 10 minutes until the services PMI data release. I'm going to make it 9 minutes, an hour before. All right, so we got a little baby pullback here. I'm not mad. I'm convinced we'll head down. You might be right, brother. You might be right, man. So this is a little pullback here. Again, in our combine account, we can take a little small scalp. Again, we're going to try to build up a cushion on this one instead of poking around. Oh, this is the micro NASDAQ. Oh, $6 gain. Tesla's still pushing up, trying to break highs. I'll go ahead and buy it because Tesla looks strong. All right, so we just scalped a little bit more. I don't know how much I got. I have to get this thing out the way because I couldn't see what my profit was there. And lock it a little bit more on Coca-Cola. Next data is services PMI, which is again, services PMI is another kind of job report, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. All right, so we are ripping up big. Look at Tesla cracking highs again. I think Tesla's helping drag the market up. All right, team. 7 minutes before we got this PMI data report. Again, if you want to day trade with me on Top Step, check out the link. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. Hit the notification bell, slap the like button. Again, funded account program called Top Step. Here's the link. We also got alerts set on Chart Prime. I might have to, they don't show up every day, so. Yeah, it's up a little bit too much for me as well, to be honest. Like I've started to lock in profit short term on a lot of my plays here because of it. It's just up so much, you know. All right, 6 minutes, 6 minutes. Again, maybe this the big one is the big one is the big one is ISM services PMI more than regular services. So it's called non-manufacturing PMI, but that's what it is services PMI data. You know, they refer to it as non-manufacturing, but what it really is, again, is services PMI. Again, 5.5 minutes. Tesla at 226. Tesla's really what's rising here. And again, I'm holding a little bit of Tesla because if you remember, my logic was I'm going to sit on it until the Cybertruck comes out November 30th in less than a month, because I think the Cybertruck is going to do well performance-wise. You know? Scientology, man. Who is actually going to buy that, like believe that? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to insult anything, but Scientology just seems to be like, never mind. I'm not going to go deep into it. I try not to get political or religious here, so I'm going to stick to that theme. All right, guys. Hey, we got 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Still testing highs here again. Q move it up. NASDAQ move it up. SPY move it up. Testing highs again. What a market. I can't say I'm mad at it. Again, people, you have to understand, the market was already down for 2.5 months. It's up big on the year, but it was already down for 2.5 months, right? And so that's the first thing you got to understand, is that even if we are bouncing back, the market was down so much that, you know, it is what it is. All right, team, here we go. We got 3 minutes, 3 minutes. 3 baby minutes left. NASDAQ breaking highs again. Q up there, 367s. Tesla at 225.70s, 225.80s, up about 700 on the day in my equities portfolio. You love to see it. I will take it. Oh, Nike. I didn't realize I was up so much on Nike as well. Coca-Cola, Honeywell doing nicely too. HD, Google, that green in Google, still red in gold, still red in Ford, still red in Etsy. But maybe the holiday season will help that one. Disney, we're nicely green. Chewy, we're nicely green. We took some profit on those this morning. American Express, we took some profit. Apple is what is also bouncing back today. Again, less than 2 minutes, guys. Less than 2 minutes. Again, Apple at 176. All right, guys, we got a 1 minute, a little bit over 1 minute here, team. A little bit over 1 minute. Apple has mostly been responding positively to the market since the open as well. Here we go. Timer going off, but we got really 1 minute here, team. All right, team, pulling back a little bit. 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. That's what the ISM report shows. All right, team, here we go. ISM services PMI expected at 53. At 53. We're getting ready to cover it, guys. Let me know what you guys think it's going to hit. We got about 5 seconds. Again, 53 is what they're expecting. And here's the report. 51.8, lower than expected, 51.8. This will probably make the market move up even more. 51.8 for services, ISM services versus 53 expected, lower than expected. Again, more positive for weaker jobs reports. And again, my portfolio is ripping up even more now. This is great to see. The NASDAQ shooting up. Big pop, big movement here. Good for the market, man. Honeywell, we're now green in Honeywell again, too. Big pop again, 51.6, lower than expected services PMI. 51.8, I mean, I'm sorry, versus 53 expected. We'll put this up on screen. We'll put it up in chat. And if you haven't already, check out TopStat. Big retracement in markets. So market flushed back down really quickly here on the NASDAQ. Big retracement. Again, market's still up so much, though. Like, extension probably plays a factor. Look at that big move here on the NASDAQ. Big movement here. Just trying. Right back up, guys. Right back up. Netflix is considering stepping into the boxing ring with its first live stream match, according to Wall Street Journal. I think that'd be great for them, man. I think that's a good move. Get some live events going on. We're at Netflix as well, of course. And again, right back up here on the SPY, still churning up here. Look at these moves. And again, if you want to day trade with me, check out TopStep, funded program in the futures. They give you a demo. They test your skill. You can day trade essentially the Q in what's called the NASDAQ E-mini. You can trade essentially the S&P 500 and what's called the E-mini S&P 500. You can day trade short. You can see I can buy market, sell market, buy bid, sell the ash, just like stocks, but there's no PDT rule. I'm going to buy this dip and see if we get a pop back up. There's no PDT rule, so I can buy market, buy bid, sell the ask, just like stocks, but there's no PDT rule. I can day trade, all that good stuff. It's a great way to learn day trading with limited risk. If you lose, it's not the end of the world, but if you're good enough to get funded, they'll fund you between 50K up to 150K with a 90% split. Great way to learn how to day trade with less risk. Most day traders lose money in the beginning. And so, if you try to put up the money yourself in day trading, you're almost certainly going to lose. I'm about to have to cut this very quickly. We'll see if it bounces fast, but if not, I got to cut it quick. Yeah, we're going to have to get out. Again, maybe it's not my day for day trading, but if you want to day trade with me, again, what I do is I build up a cushion first. If I can't build up a cushion like today, I just kind of bow out of it, and that's all right. But again, it's a great way to learn. It's a great middle ground. If you lose, you're out $49. If you're good enough to pass it, you can get 50K to 150K in funding with a 90% split. They pay out millions, fund thousands of traders every year. You got a trading Netflix show. Again, if you want to check it out, link is in the description. Great way to help support the channel. Again, now my hands are probably off. I mean, I'm not going to make money every day, and I'm okay with that. If you want to check out one of my other sponsors, check out Chart Prime. And again, y'all have a safe and happy weekend. It's been a really fun week. The channel's grown massively. We broke 117,000 subscribers. We're already getting kind of close to 118K. So thank you guys so much. Market loved life right now. It's been flying up, looking really, really pretty today. And so we'll see if this bullish action holds. The question of the day here is, does the bull action hold right now? Again, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Does the market hold its gains right now? Finally getting a little dip in the S&P 500 right here. A little dip. Yeah, you know, I've been using this regular Market Oracle Pro. Like earlier, we showed Chart Prime and how you can use them on a 15-minute chart if you use all the stuff I talked about. Now we're looking at Chart Prime and how you can potentially use it on a 1-minute chart if you want to scalp like I have. I've never actually tried this one on Chart Prime, but look at the buy signal here. Beautiful bounce. Sell signal here. You got a couple minutes of bearish action. Buy signal here. You got a nice little bounce. I'm pretty sure these don't repaint as well. Look, sell signal here. Nice little dip, buy signal here. You got a nice little pop, sell signal here. You got a nice little dip. Pretty accurate short term for day trading. This is a company called Chart Prime. It's a trading view service you can use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. They're a sponsor of mine as well. If you want to check them out, you can use that link right there. Again, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm definitely biased because they pay me money. You know, I just sit here for hours every day. So of course I'm going to make money doing this, but Chart Prime looks legit. Again, back test some stuff yourself. The other one I looked at was when you get a 15-minute chart up. You get a 15-minute chart and you look at whenever. Again, I set alert for this one, but it doesn't show up all the time. But you can get alerts to your phone, so you don't have to sit by your computer waiting for these to show up. But the other one is when you get an engulfing candle and a reversal signal on a 15-minute chart right on top of each other. So none of these will work because the engulfing candle, which is this little symbol here, and the reversal signal is not on top of each other. But watch what it is. Like right here, look, engulfing, possible reversal down, nice drop. Again, we keep going back, keep going back, keep going back. Finding one. Look, here's one. That one might work, and you could consider that one didn't work. But again, look, bullish engulfing, reversal signal, bounce. Bearish engulfing, reversal signal, dip. Okay, so that's like 3-1 right now, 3-1. Bullish engulfing, reversal signal, 4-1. Bullish engulfing, reversal signal, 5-1. Just back testing this myself. Bearish engulfing reversal signal 6-1, bullish engulfing reversal signal 7-1. Again, backtest that yourself. 15-minute chart. Look, 8-1. Again, it works. I think I can't guarantee you're going to make money. I can't guarantee it's going to work. I'm just backtesting this myself personally, but it works the best in my opinion when they're right on top of each other. This is a 15-minute chart. The S&P 500, the E-mini is what this is. Not the S&P 500, but the E-mini futures contract. Again, link is in the description if you want to check that out as well. I'm going to go ahead and bow out for the day. We're up enough in my equities portfolio where I'm okay with losing a little bit in futures. Y'all have a safe weekend, guys. Maybe need some relief. Yeah, I mean, the market's up so much. Thanks, Tiny. Thanks so much. Bearish trend change. Melt up Friday, yeah. Honestly, we'll see. I think we'll still probably bounce, but I think the market is up so much already that even if it doesn't bounce, you still should be fine. But yeah, y'all be good, guys. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Y'all be safe.